Live from Morris Jeff Stadium in Algiers, Crescent City Sports is proud to bring you high school football. As tonight, we have got a dandy in District 9 5A as the Holy Cross Tigers cross the river to take on the Edna Karr Cougars. Hi again, everybody. Lenny Van Gilder along with Wade Kaiser. Chip Merritt, our producer tonight. Matt Merritt bringing you all the pictures of what should be a good one tonight in the Catholic League. Wade, all you've got to do is look at the standings to see the impact. If any league in the state that a district championship matters, it's the Catholic League. And when you look at the standings, you see exactly what's at stake tonight. Karr is 3-0. Holy Cross is 3-1. The only two teams in the league with 3 wins at this point. One of them is going to come out at the end of the night with 4 wins and perhaps be in the driver's seat. If Holy Cross wins, it turns into a bit of a mud bath, if you will. You'll have 3 teams with 1 loss at the end of the night because Brother Martin and Rummel are playing at Joe Yenny this evening, each at 2-1 in the league. So it gets a little interesting there. But obviously a win tonight by Karr, and they take command of this league.
Yeah, and that's obviously what they were thinking about all week. Heard they had an excellent week of practice, talking to their coaching staff. It's homecoming here. I know we'll talk more about that here in Algiers. But over at Holy Cross, like you said, they know what is at stake tonight. And this season has gone in the right direction for first-year coach Scott Watney. And, you know, he has the Tigers back on the path of doing things, in the right direction. And he knows tonight that he can really turn this thing into a quagmire with a win here tonight and a good old-fashioned brouhaha in the Catholic League.
Well, Karr's 6-0. They had a bye, and they did not play a non-district game when their district bye. Holy Cross started 6-0, then last week lost a 3-point game to Brother Martin on Brother Martin's homecoming. And, that was a game, it was a strange game in that Holy Cross only got 6 possessions in the game. This is a team that we've seen early on this year. They can move the ball up and down the field, want to play with some tempo and, get some offense going. And when you only got 6 possessions, that give you a lot of opportunities to score.
Well, they have some big play receivers in Cross Johnson and Kobe Young, with Cole Canatella throwing the football as we're watching the fireworks going off here tonight in Algiers. And
look, the Karr pregame entrance is as good as any in high school football, Louisiana or otherwise.
Yes, it is. It's something to see. And Holy Cross, getting back to them again, they're one of the best teams that went to 50-50 football, right? And if you just get 6 touches, or should I say 6 series in a game, you're taking the ball out of the hands of Cross Johnson, Kobe Young, Kyron Smith, which are their athletes and their go-to guys on offense.
Yeah, reminds me a lot of what Jay Roth was able to do 11 years ago in the state championship game against a Barb team that was highly talented on offense. And as a result, Rummel won that state championship. That was Jay Roth's first title back in 2012. And it was a similar type of strategy. It'll be interesting to see what happens here tonight. Karr in the Catholic League thus far has been in close games in the second half. They were 7-7 with Jesuit at halftime last week. 2 weeks ago against Brother Martin, they trailed 7-0 at halftime. St. Aug was down to the wire. They had to make a great defensive play down near the goal line and a fumble recovery that turned the game. Could have very well been a scoop and score, but the whistle blew. And that's, so they've been in tight games that they've had to pull away late. Now, the last 2 weeks, they have outscored Brother Martin and Jesuit in the second half by a combined 47-0. So let's see just how this game plays out this evening. You have to wonder if Bryce Brown is kind of imploring his team, look, we got to get off to a faster start here, guys. We can't let teams hang around because sooner or later something's going to come back and bite us there.
Well, Bryce Brown said he's going to have to play 2 halves, right, against real good Holy Cross football team. You've got to put 2 halves together. You just can't let the engine run for a half and then decide to put the accelerator on in the second half, because they have a lot of gas in this Karr team with a lot of really good athletes on both sides of the ball. Those guys are going to have to play 2 full halves against Holy Cross.
Let's pause as the Karr band gives us our national anthem. Our national anthem from Algiers as we get set for kickoff on a Friday night, week 8 of the Louisiana high school football season. Holy Cross and Karr with first place on the line in 9-5A this evening. Captains will meet at the center of the field. You see the uniforms tonight, Wade. The gold is a tradition on homecoming for Edna Karr. They're wearing the gold tops with the purple pants, the gold headgear. Holy Cross tonight, the white headgear, white jerseys, and yes, don't adjust the color on your cell phones or on your computers. Those are green pants that just arrived this week.
Well, it's the old Notre Dame, USC, Trojan horse, go back in, change into the green, come out and win a football game, right? But hey, coaches do whatever they have to do to get their kids mentally ready, and part of the mental part of the game is the emotions, and Scott Watney with the green pants is trying to get the emotions ready to go with Holy Cross.
All right, Holy Cross won the toss. They've deferred, so Edna Karr will get the football first. Before we kick, let's take a look at those district standings that we told you about and just the significance of what's at stake here this evening. And like I said, Wade, 9-5A, maybe the other 40-some districts in the state, district championships don't matter as much anymore in this era of PowerPoints and splits and things like that. It still matters in the Catholic League. And guess what? Holy Cross hasn't won a title in 21 years. They could take a big step towards one this evening.
Having been a part of it for a long time, having played in it, having been a part of winning Catholic League titles, I can tell you it is something when you put a Catholic League title up on the wall of your school. It means something to everybody in the school, and it also means something to all the alumni around the world.
All right, so we get set for kickoff. Holy Cross is going to kick it from right to left to get it underway here this evening, and it will be Noel Mora kicking off. And deep for the Cougars, it will be Bryant Sanchez to the bottom of your screen and Rajai Dennis to the top. Holy Cross going to bring everybody in tight here. You make Karr cover for this thing, and you perhaps they don't do it right, you shift out of it. Now they will shift out.
Yeah, but you still have to defend it.
You have to do it, just like the swinging gate on the extra point, right?
Absolutely.
Mora kicks it away, and this will reach the end zone for a touchback, so Karr will begin its opening possession from the 20-yard line. And we get our first look of the evening at John Johnson, the 5'11", 175-pound sophomore. What a game he had against Carr's big non-district rival Warren Easton. Accounted for 7 touchdowns, threw for 6, passed for 1. And he has guided this offense that is averaging nearly 30 points a game. Holy Cross defense has allowed 24 a game. They'll work out of the pistol.
First down and 10.
Play action on first down. Johnson's pass this side, in and out of the hands of Teron Francis, the LSU commitment, just committed earlier this month, Wade.
Yeah, you got to look it in, right? You got to see it, catch it, then run with it. And you can see here on the replay, nice route by Francis. He wants to get going a little bit too fast. Doesn't look it into his hands. Ball on the ground, incomplete pass.
Second down and 10.
4 wide receivers, 2 to either side. We'll go to the top this time. Pass is caught, run out of bounds at about the 24-yard lines. That was Rajai Dennis. He's an Ole Miss commitment, the senior. Had a 75-yard touchdown reception against Brother Martin. He's the number 20 ranked player in the state.
Well, out there in gold jerseys, there's a lot of players, right? A lot of athletes that are going to be recruited all over this country, and they're on everybody's list.
Yeah, you go to a Karr signing day, and there's usually a dozen or more that are signing their name on the dotted line. We got movement up front, and it's going to be, it appears, a false start.
On the Cougars, 5 5-yard penalty.
Yeah, you're talking about signing day at Karr. They got to rent tables and bring them in, right? There's so many people that they put in the gym, but the number of recruits that they have signing on signing day is massive. And that's a credit to Bryce Brown and his staff and the nice job that the school does in order to not only attract good students, but good student athletes.
Bryce Brown in his 9th year, 2 wins away from 100 in his career. 98 career wins. Will motion the back, Favorite out of the backfield. Now they'll go downfield, and pass is caught across midfield, still on his feet, down near the 35, and finally gang tackled right there at about the 35-yard line. Francis makes up for that drop. It's a gain of 41, and Carr's already at the line, ready to run a play, Wade.
Yeah, well, they motion the back out of the backfield and have a nice little pump there. They freezes Reese Gordon in the corner from Holy Cross, can't catch up, and they've got a big splash play on the boards already.
Check that gain of 46 after the penalty. Try to run Favorite outside.
6, it's my Favorite.
And a nice defensive stop right there. That was Billy Eaton, the senior defensive lineman, stepping up, making a play there. No gain.
Yeah, Billy Eaton's a good one. We've been calling his name for the past couple of years. He runs well from his defensive end position.
So 2nd down and 10. Opening drive of this game, pass is caught. That is Tyrone Wilson, the senior. He had a TD catch against St. Aug. Game you saw here on Crescent City Sports back in week 4. Gain of 4 on the play.
Yeah, Carr's going to put the gas pedal down, right? And they're going to spread that ball around and get in the athletes' hands all over the field.
Up the middle, Favorite still on his feet. Inside the 20, down near the 10-yard line. And first down as Edna Karr is in the red zone.
Look, all that's tough to defend. You're getting the ball out on the flank to those good receivers out there, and then you're throwing right, you're throwing left, you're throwing deep, and then all of a sudden you're going to hit them right up the seam with Favorite. Nobody was there.
They'll go right back to Favorite once again, looking to bounce it outside, and nowhere to go.
First down and 10.
And I believe that was 0 Aiden Hall from his defensive back position. Or check that. That's 0 for Holy Cross. Nicholas DiGirolamo, the junior, on the stop. No gain on a play. 2nd and 10. Quarterback's going to keep it. Flag is down. Johnson is in for the touchdown, but hold everything. We got Laundry in the backfield, and I believe this is going to be a hold against Edna Karr. And indeed it is.
Yeah, I think they got number 71, Kirsten Bell, for a holding. Big guy, 6'6", 285-pound senior. Let's see if we can see it right there. Oh, yeah, there it is right there. That's a wrestling move. Got them all locked up. And then he throws it hands up at the end and said, I didn't do it.
Isn't that always the case, though?
Always the case, man.
They never do
awesome.
it, right?
At whatever level you're at. Hey, wasn't me.
All right, so 2nd down and 20 for the Cougars. Ball at the 22-yard line. Nearly 3 minutes gone by in this opening quarter. Johnson's got to roll out. He's got room to run. 20, 15, he will slide down. And let's see where they mark it. Looks like they're going to put it down at about the 14-yard line, and it's going to be 3rd and long for the Cougars.
Yeah, Holy Cross is going to sit in the zone all night long. You're not going to see much man-to-man coverage out of these guys. So you're going to mix up the 3-deep, 2-deep zone coverages where it's going to come in important, especially with the Karr throwing game. They're on the short throwing game, is get those linebackers out in coverage and make sure that they're covering inside out, covering backs out of the backfield.
So the ball at the 14. Got to get it to around the 2. Pass is caught, and it's going to be short of the first down, and it's going to be decision time. Oliver Mitchell had a big game against Easton. Makes the catch.
Yeah, just as quick as I say, those linebackers are going to be important in coverage. They move one with the back, right? He slides out, and they run the curl route right where he vacates for a nice gain.
So on 4th and 3 at the 5, looks like Karr is going to go for it. Got to get to about the 2-yard line.
At the 6.
Well, option look. Johnson keeps. I don't know if he got there, Wade. It looks like they stopped him. Ball is out. Now they're going to say it's dead. And boy, I tell you what, did he get some serious forward progress here? If they call this down, it's going to be first down Karr. Looked like they had him bottled up. Then it looked like the ball came out.
Wow, that was real
close. The ball got ripped out at the end, but they did get forward progress to the 2.
Yeah, real close. From our camera angle, we really couldn't see exactly the line that he got to.
Right. Whistles before this play can get underway, and it's going to be a false start against Karr. And I see another flag that might have come in. Let's see. Did I see another flag from the back of the end zone? No, it was the same call. I thought maybe something was like maybe they got Holy Cross with 12 men on the field, but again, the play never got started. So it's first and goal at the 7. So already we've seen 3 penalties for 20 yards against Karr. End around, trying to find room, and into the end zone for a touchdown goes Tyrone Wilson.
Well, the offensive linemen are going to tell you where the ball's going, right? That's the first thing you tell defensive backs and linebackers. Those are your reads. Look at those 2 big guys pulling for the reverse. Hand it off to Wilson. Wilson's going to follow the big guys into the end zone. Carr's on the board first.
11 plays, 80 yards. It took 4 minutes and 32 seconds. And it's 80 yards, Wade, but it was really 100 because Karr got penalized 20. They had to go 100 yards to get to the end zone. And extra point gets blocked, and that is Joshua Brown, the junior cornerback, who got through to block it. So it is a 6-0 Karr lead here with 7:28 to play in the first quarter.
That 1 point's big.
Yeah,
here's
another
Brown
look.
off the edge right there. He's all over it, right? That's a timing thing. Snap was there, hold was down, kicker was slow approaching, right? That thing needs to be off in less than 1.2 seconds, right? That's how quick that thing should be up and gone with the whole mechanism. Real slow right there by the Karr kicker approaching the ball.
Chance for us to remind you that high school football on Crescent City Sports is brought to you by the Lamarck Motor Company in Kenner. Lamarck is a brand new location at 6121 Jefferson Highway in Harahan. Lamarck, Crescent City Ford Trucks. We can't wait to see you there. Jaden Hunter hands all the kicking duties for the Cougars. Kicks this one away. We drive. Return her back to about the 7-yard line and room to run. Out past the 30, 35, 40. Out past midfield, 40, 35, 30, 25, 20. Finally chased down from behind. That was Finn Martin, the junior wide receiver, who went 79 yards on that return out to the 18-yard line of Edna Karr.
1 block, 2 block, excellent blocks right there. Creates a crease. Finn Martin hits it going downhill. Once you hit that thing full speed, you're off and going. You're one-on-one with the kicker, and somebody's going to have to chase it down from behind. Excellent job by special teams of Holy Cross. That could be the difference here tonight for one of these football teams.
2 big plays already in the special teams. Both have gone the Tigers' way, and they're going to start this offensive possession in the red zone. Cole Canatella and the Holy Cross offense on the field for the first time. Canatella, the 5'11", 173-pound senior, who's a 68% passer on the season. He will throw on first down. Pass is caught inside the 10. First and goal. The catch by Cross Johnson, the senior, 23rd catch of the year. He's got 6 touchdowns on the year.
Yeah, he's their big playmaker, right? They love him out there trying to get him one-on-one with the corner. You're going to see a lot of max protections out of Holy Cross tonight. They'll keep a tight end in there and a fullback. They'll probably just send 2, maybe 3 out on a route. They have to use play action because the powerful Karr defensive line can actually, man, those guys can put some pressure on you.
Flags before this can get underway. Let's see what this is about. Dead ball, it's offside against Karr.
Can't line up in the neutral zone. Right. That's 5 extra yards for Holy Cross.
Or half the distance here. It'll be first and goal. We'll put it at about the 3.5-yard line.
That's hidden yardage, either minus or plus, right? That hurts a football team. Just can't do things like that. Can't line up in the neutral zone. Can't have the illegal procedures.
That's already 4 penalties on the Cougars here in the first 5 minutes. Run inside, still on his feet, and into the end zone for the touchdown goes Kieran Smith. 11th rushing touchdown of the year for the sophomore running back who came into the night with 504 yards on the ground. He gets in from 3 yards there.
It doesn't matter how you make your splash plays, right? You can make them on special teams with the kickoff return. You can make them with fumbles and picking the ball up and returning it, or interceptions and returning it. Splash play on a kickoff return sets Holy Cross up with a chance to get the ball in the end zone on a nice power play. We've got a tied ball game. 7-6 ball game.
Yeah, Moore with the kick, and it's good. And Holy Cross has the lead, 7-6, with 6:36 to play.
Holy Cross leads 7-6.
Quite the start, Wade. And it's kind of what we thought might happen. You know, you've got two teams that are very good on offense.
Well, you got splash plays, and it's like I said, it doesn't matter where you're going to find them tonight. Each team has to find them. Karr found one in their first possession with the deep bomb and the deep vertical threat off the pump and go. Holy Cross found one on special teams, actually 2 now on special teams.
By number 21, Kieran Smith.
All right, set to kick it off. And again, Holy Cross will do much of the same in terms of...
Dennis and number 4, Brian Sanchez.
So Moore put the first one into the end zone. And he will drive this one as well into the end zone. That's a big weapon in high school football. You take the return out of the game and...
Oh, yeah. I mean, when you're looking down the barrel at the 2 returners that Karr has back there, right? And those cats can go, and what are you going to do? Your choices are, if you can't put it in the end zone, you're going to try to sky kick it, pooch kick it someplace to someone else, or if you can put it out of the end zone, it's coming out to the 20. That is a huge, huge plus for your football team and for your defense.
So Karr from the 20-yard line. So, Wade, on the opening possession of the game, Karr had to go 100 yards offensively because of 20 yards in penalties. Holy Cross only had to go 14 yards. Play action on first down. Pass is caught. And a great catch there by Oliver Mitchell. And it'll be a first down for Karr.
Well, Oliver Mitchell, big hands, right? 17, watch the out route right here. Boom, and then right in behind it comes the second drag. Nice read by the quarterback, Johnson.
And a gain of about 3 that time.
Again, number 17.
And once again, Mitchell once again on the catch.
Holy Cross is all over the wide receiver screens, right? So watch Karr go with some sort of double pass or pump fake again with a double move out there by one of their wide receivers or their slot receivers and try to catch Holy Cross in a vertical with a receiver wide open.
Got an injured Holy Cross player on the field. Looks like Jordan Johnson, the junior linebacker, is down. If nothing else, look, this Holy Cross defense has been on the field quite a bit here early on.
The Crescent City Kings professional development football team are getting ready for the 2024 season. Players aged 18 to 26 are encouraged to sign.
Looked like he had a little cramp, got up, and he's ready to roll.
Look, we've had some cool days. All of a sudden, it's warmed up the last couple of days. Got up into mid-80s today.
Right.
Once again, we're having tryouts.
Heck, I was breathing hard going up and down the stairs.
Go to www.cckingsfootball.
Well, we understand there's going to be some renovations take place here at Morris Jeff. They're already doing some things, some other parts of this park area. $8 million in renovations slated.
Well, and looking at the
Ground
field
on it this summer, yeah.
And having been down on the field, it's going to need it, right?
Yeah, the field
is very beaten.
They need to replace the playing surface. I don't think there's any question about that. Pass is caught, but well defended right there. Brian Sanchez made the catch, but right there to defend it was Matthew Kakamo, I should say, the senior safety.
Yeah, he's inverted down in the strong safety position. He comes off the block. Carr's lucky they didn't get the block in the back right there, and Kakamo comes off the block, makes a nice play.
All right, now it's 3rd and 10 at the 32. Play action. Coming off the edge, they got Johnson. Brought down. Reese Gordon with the corner blitz got home. And Holy Cross's defense is going to get off the field here, a loss of 8.
Let me say this, if you're going to bring a corner blitz and you've got a wide receiver going vertical, you better get somebody over the top of that vertical. Carr won't let that go again, right? You brought the corner blitz got home. Next time they're going to adjust their protections to the corner blitz and they're going to hit the vertical and let you get across the top of that. And that's exactly what happened that time. They'll make an adjustment on that on the sidelines.
All right, so we'll see the first punt of the evening. And it's Hunter back to punt with, that's Kobe Young, whose name we haven't called it yet. We'll call it a lot tonight. Young from the 45. Falls forward, got tripped up, but he falls into Carr territory at the 47-yard line.
Yeah, Kobe Young, I think he's a Georgia Tech commitment, if I'm not mistaken. He has nice hands, nice speed. We've been calling his name for the past few years in the Catholic League. He's a fine football player.
Yeah, maybe the play of the year in New Orleans area high school football thus far this year, that 2-point conversion after the Hail Mary to defeat John Curtis a couple of Saturdays ago.
Well, Holy Cross is in business on the Carr side of the 50.
Canatella tried to go RPO. Looks like now he's going to put it down and run with a no gain. It was well defended that time. They went play action, and in reality, it's more of it's an RPO look. He pulled it back like he was going to throw it, but there was just nothing there for him.
Well, there's nothing there for him because they covered everything up. Carr dropped their linebacker under the inside slant by the slot, and they did a nice job singling up on Cross Johnson. Took the route away that Canatella wanted to go through. So smart as he is, Canatella tucks it, doesn't take the throw the interception or do something dumb with the football.
Pass caught. Young stays on his feet somehow and falls forward to about the 41-yard line.
Yeah, swing pass, right? Trying to work against that second level of linebackers. So he's got room. Look at this guy flying right there. That is number 10, Arsenio Bolds, flying from his inside linebacker position, coming inside out. And these cats can run. So once everything looks open, all of a sudden those windows close real fast. That's what speed will do for you.
Caden Ando has been the back in this series. On 3rd and a long 4, snap is fumbled. Somehow Canatella got back in there, made a play, and throws it incomplete. And see a Holy Cross player injured there. I don't think we're going to get intentional grounding here. It's going to be 4th down.
No, if Federation allows you outside the tackle box to be able to throw in the direction of your sideline or the sideline. And they had a Holy Cross player in the vicinity.
Yeah, Josh Adams came up a little gimpy after that, offensive lineman, 65. And it looks like Holy Cross is going to go for this right now on 4th, and they're putting it back at the 42, 4th and 5.
Huge decision for the Tigers right here at this 45.
This is kind of no man's land right here, right? It might be a quick kick. Canatella is going to quick kick, and it's not a very good one. Off the side of his foot, and let's see where they put it out. At the 27-yard line. So they got about 15 yards out of it, but an interesting decision.
Hey, great idea. Kick wasn't too good, right? Kind of shanked it off the side of his foot. What they were hoping was to just get that thing line drive where we get a nice end-over-end roll down there inside the 10.
Don't give him a chance to set up a return, and ideally you make a play and you get it down deep.
That's the plan. Things don't always go to
It doesn't always work out. Exactly. So from the 27, Karr takes over, third possession of the night. Looking to bounce it outside, still on his feet. That was Dejon Smith.
Well, Dejon Smith
about
gets
2.5. Yeah.
He picks up 2.5, but the block was laid out there by Tyrone Wilson, coming and cracking at the top of your screen on Matthew Kukama. Watch this. Boom. Bang. Let's see if you can see it right there. Kukama goes down on the ground. Great block by number 3, Tyrone Wilson.
Smith. Flag comes in as Smith goes down, about a gain of 1 on the play. Let's see what this is all about. Karr walking back, which leads me to believe this is probably a block in the back. No, it's yeah. I think it was a block in the back. Credit to our guys for getting some replays here tonight, but with two teams going tempo, it gets a little harder to do that.
Oh, yeah. It's hard for us, right?
So it's 2nd down and 17 now. The ball at the 20-yard line. Karr has been hurt by penalties thus far. Pass is caught. I believe that was Dennis out there. That's 2. Dennis, gain of about 7. So back to the original line of scrimmage.
Yeah, Dennis makes the catch, and it's Brown out there on the coverage. Holy Cross is really driving every ball hard. I'm waiting to see double moves here by the Karr Cougars anytime now.
So 3rd down, 10. Johnson puts it down. Can't get to the sticks, though. Several white shirts there waiting for him, led by Jordan Johnson, who's back in the game after we saw him deal with some cramps in the last series. It's 4th down and 3 after the gain of 7. Decision time here, and Cougars are going to punt it away. Kind of early right now. Does that factor in? I mean, obviously score does, but how much does time factor into some of those decisions when you start looking at those charts on what you want to do? Things you might do in the 4th quarter, maybe not in the 1st quarter?
Well, yeah.
A great punt. Going to drive Kobe Young all the way back to the 20-yard line. Gets around the edge. Doesn't have a blocker there, but still makes a couple of men miss. It gets it out past the 35 to about the 37-yard line. Quite the kick that time. Is Hunter 46 yards on the punt. And you'll see there, Wade, he gets it over the head of Young, who has to make an over-the-shoulder catch right there.
Well, that's Young's athletic ability right there, right? Makes a nice catch. But you're talking about time and factors and decisions. I think both teams at this stage of the game, early as we are in this football game, fixing to go into the 2nd quarter now, they're still trying to feel out each other and create an identity. If you understand what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
So 16 yards on a return for Young. Ball's at the 36-yard line. Give it away on 1st down, and some good running room off the right side as Caden Ando, the junior, will get him all the way out to the 47-yard line on a 1st down.
You know,
great second effort there.
Holy Cross is trying to figure out. They know they can throw the ball out there to Cross Johnson, Kobe Young, Finn Martin. They know they can throw the ball out to their fine wide receivers. They know they can max protect up front on pass protection. They're trying to figure out, can we run the football? That's the identity crisis they're in right now, trying to make sure that they can use all weapons that they have to offensively.
On 1st down. Tried again that time, and great penetration that time, and in to make the tackle, Corey Adams, and there's a flag down on the play. Corey Adams, the 6'4", 265-pound junior, coming in from his defensive tackle spot, and it's holding against Holy Cross.
Well, Corey Adams is a nice-looking athlete down on the field before the game, looking at that Carr defensive line. These cats can play, right? They're very technique sound. They get off of blocks nicely, and then they can tackle. Big guys, Richard Anderson, Corey Adams, Frederick Hart, and Lyric Hawkins.
Yep. And size, that's the other thing you're always going to have.
But they can run. They can run, Lenny. That's the thing. They can flat out run.
Let's see if Holy Cross snaps it before we hit triple zeros here. And they don't, I don't believe. And I look like there could have been some movement there, but I think it all happened after the clock hit zero. So that will end it for an entertaining first quarter of play. 12 minutes in the books, and your score, Holy Cross 7, Edna Karr 6. You are watching high school football from Crescent City Sports. All right, so here we go with quarter number 2. Lenny Van Gilder, Wade Kaiser with you from Algiers, Morris Jeff Stadium. District 9 5A matchup for the lead in the Catholic League. First play of the second quarter. Holy Cross now moving left to right. And once again, they give it to Caden Ando, and he's going to get most of the penalty yardage back there, Wade. They went off the right side once again. They had some success on the first play of this series, and this time they get 9.
Watch this little move by Ando right here. Whoop, right there. Nice little one-cut move, right? That's what good running backs do. Put a foot in the ground, make one move, and then they get vertical. You've heard me say it 1,000 times. Those are things that if you know the game, you look at and you can say, well, this guy's a good running back because he is a north-south runner. He can put his foot in the ground, and he can accelerate.
2nd and 11, ball at the 46-yard line. They'll try to go left side this time when Ando. Can he get to the edge? No chance. Great pursuit that time by the Carr defense. Edward Brown, the 6-foot, 185-pound senior, had a big play in last week's game against Jesuit. Blue Jays were trying to answer in the second half, and he had a scoop and score, 78 yards for a touchdown to really turn that game, and as Carr went on to win it 35-7.
Against that type of speed on defense, you got to run right at it. You can't run east and west because those guys are running north and south, and Brown this time looked like he came out of a rifle or something and made a nice tackle.
They'll try to jet sweep with Finn Martin. Can he get to the edge? Not so fast. He is brought down by Taj Butler, the Georgia Tech commit. Was there a flag for a face mask? I don't know. Let's see. I see a towel. I don't know if there was a flag thrown or not. They're talking about it. So I guess we do have a flag on the play. I didn't see one come down.
Yeah, we're going to get a 15-yard penalty, I believe, right here on Taj Butler. Came from the back line judge that was and had a good view of it coming down the sideline. But again, you can't go east and west against these guys, Lenny. These guys run too well. You want to establish the run game against them, you got to run the gap plays, right? You got to gap down, get the kicks and the seals.
It is a personal foul, face mask, and that'll be a first down, Wade.
Right.
I believe. Well, let's see here. Now, you see, that is being marked as a spot foul, and I don't understand that. Why is it not going back to the original line of scrimmage when he tackled him in the backfield? And it's not an automatic first down, so it's 3rd and 1.
I guess we need to ask the Federation, right?
So now it's 3rd and 1 at the 44. Again, explain, there are very little automatic first downs.
Right.
3rd down and a long one.
Not in Federation. You have them all over the place on Saturdays and Sundays.
But not especially
on
in a personal foul, yep. Motion from the receiver, but instead they'll go up the gut, and nicely done. Caden Ando's going to get the first down to about the 36-yard line.
See, when you run downhill at them, you run downhill at a defense that can run like Carrs can, right? You can get a hat on a hat, you can tie them up, and it allows your running back to be able to pick his hole like they did on the inside split zone right there. But when you're running those East and West, that East and West game, right, that is going from one sideline to the other sideline, you allow this really great Carr defense to come downhill and bang you up fast.
So the ball at the 36-yard line, a drive that started back at the Holy Cross 36. Ando once again, nice run to just get about 3 yards out of that.
Yeah, penetration in the backfield by Carr's defensive line. He scoots right past it. Somebody in a gold jersey got a hand on Ando, but just couldn't hold him.
Number 15, Tajay Butler.
So call it a gain of 4 officially. Ando's got 29 yards on the ground already.
4 for Ando.
2nd and 6, the ball at the 32-yard line. 7th play of this opening drive. Or in the second quarter, I should say. Ando once again will get about a yard.
Taj Butler makes that play. Boy, is he a good-looking linebacker. 6'2", 225. He's a senior. Wow, watch him here. Woo. He does a nice job coming downhill and cleaning that thing up.
Butler, like Kobe Young on the other side, is a Georgia Tech commit.
Boy, Georgia Tech coming in this neck of the woods, picking up some good football players, right? They've been doing it for the past couple of years. A couple kids from Brother Martin a few years ago. We all remember those names, right? And they come and pick up 2 or 3 every year in Southeast Louisiana.
And that's with a different staff, too, now. We got movement up front.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Like Colin Wenzel at right tackle, along with Andrew Hewitt, the right guard.
Replay 3rd down.
And I believe that's the first penalty of the night against Holy Cross. No, check that, the second. Had a holding call earlier in this drive. So at the 36, 3rd and 10. Canatella looking to escape. Now lets it fly. Pass is caught. Wide open inside the 5-yard line. They're going to call it down. But that was Cross Johnson who just got wide open in the middle of the Carr secondary out there.
Well, Carr brought the house.
Yeah, they brought the house here.
They brought the house, so they're playing umbrella coverage across the top, right? So they're just giving ground. And you can see Cross Johnson breaks his route off right across the middle, let the ball floats down to him. They're in business inside the 5.
31 on the play, and the run is in for the touchdown. Kieran Smith. He's had 2 carries tonight. He's got 2 touchdowns, Wade. That's a good batting average.
That's a great batting average, right? Look at him run downhill right here. Split zone, crease, touchdown. Can't run east and west. Got to run north and south. Their defense is just too good. Talking about Carr's defense.
So it's a 13-6 game, extra point coming, and it is good by Noel Mora. And your new score with 7:36 to play here in the first half is Holy Cross 14 and Edna Karr 6. That driveway goes 9 plays, 64 yards. And it took 5 minutes and 15 seconds off the clock. Holy Cross doing a little bit there of what Brother Martin did to them last week, long, sustained drives.
Well,
and you're keeping that Carr offense on the sidelines.
Well, and that would be part of the game plan, right? I know Scott Watney's staff, they walked in last Saturday and last Sunday and said, what are we going to have to do to beat such a good team in Carr? We're going to have to control the line of scrimmage. We're going to have to run the football some, make some big splash plays, no matter how we get them, but we have to maintain time of possession and win time of possession, and that's what they just did. Brother Martin executed it to the T last week, correct? Against Holy Cross.
6 possessions is all Holy Cross's offense had. They've already hit 3 tonight.
So it does work if you can get it to work, right? And so far, so good for Holy Cross.
So Mora to kick it off. And this will go out of bounds or in the end zone?
It went out of bounds.
It went out at the 1 yard line?
It went out just before the pylon.
I didn't see a flag come out. That was the only thing.
There was a flag. He just kind of pulled it out and dropped it on the ground. Okay. I saw him pick it up and put it back into his belt loop.
Okay. So Carr's going to start this one at the 35-yard line.
That's great field position for a team like Carr, right? I mean, that can make splash plays in a hurry.
Correction, the football was kicked out of bounds.
So Carr had a great opening drive, 11 plays, 80 yards. And since then, they've had back-to-back 3-and-outs. Some great adjustments by this Holy Cross defense. Johnson, near side, pass caught, and that will be right at the sticks as the catch is made by Oliver Mitchell. We've called his name a bunch tonight. He had three touchdown receptions in that big win over Easton.
Lenny, that's stealing it. They're going to stay in a too-high coverage. They better walk a linebacker out there. They can out-leverage the Holy Cross defense by just throwing those wide receiver bubble screens.
Well, defending the run right there is some great penetration in the backfield that time by John Best, the 5'11", 202-pound junior. Undersized at defensive line, but he's quick, obviously, and he just got off the edge that time and made the play.
Yeah, look for the zone read next time off of it. They're going to pull the ball off of that if Best is going to continue coming down hard.
Nicholas DiGirolamo also in on a play. Again, Carr going in a hurry here.
Well, there you go. They run it once. Best bites down inside. They run it twice. He pulls the ball off the read. They catch Best in no-man land. He's trying to slow play the quarterback in the dive right there. Johnson's too good of an athlete.
Gain of 9. So now it's 3rd and 2. So go from 2nd and 11 to 3rd and 2. Johnson, far side, pass caught. First down and then some. And Rajai Dennis on the catch.
Look, all you got to do is make one guy miss out there. If you're going to stay in too high with that much cushion out there, all you've got to do is throw it to that slot receiver, get a block on the corner, and now you're one-on-one with a safety. If a linebacker's slow getting inside out, it's stealing.
At the 39. Trying to come this way. Favorite stays on his feet. Now there's a host of Holy Cross defenders, including Kobe Young, who's going to be on the field a lot tonight. Wide receiver, safety, returns. He's all over the place.
Boy, he's such a good athlete. I'd play him both ways also, right? I'd make sure somehow, some way he's going to touch the ball, whether defensively on an interception or every special team and, of course, offensively.
Pass far side, caught. Still on his feet, 30, 25, 20. Down the sidelines, 10, 5. Touchdown, Tyrone Wilson. 36 yards. And just like that, the Cougars answer. And see if they're going to kick this to make it a one-point game or if they're going to go for 2 to tie it. It looks like the offense is going to stay on here, and they're going to go for the tie.
Look, you can't miss tackles, all right? Kakamo just misses the tackle out there. When you're one-on-one with that slot out there, he's coming down. He was inverting down from the safety position. He had a bead on it. He saw it coming right there. He had nice positioning on it. You got to make the tackle. You don't make a tackle on these guys, they're going to outrun you all the time. What a play. Great pitch and catch.
Timeout call by Holy Cross. They're going to talk about this in terms of how they want to defend this 2-point play coming up, Wade.
Well, I think they're going to also want to look at the personnel that's coming on the field. If I'm a defensive coordinator, I would want to take a timeout. I'm going to want to see what receivers are coming out, what formations or what personnel groupings are they coming out in, and then I want to be able to counter with my personnel groupings on defense. Again, it's all about personnel groupings. You do not want to get caught on the field defensively with the wrong personnel groupings against the offensive personnel groupings that can make it just easy for the offense.
Well, we mentioned there's 4 teams in this league, either undefeated or 1 loss. Karr is undefeated. Holy Cross has a loss. Over at Joe Yenny tonight, you got the other 2 with 1 loss playing Brother Martin and Archbishop Rummel. Brother Martin out to an early 14-0 lead in that game.
Well, I think they're hitting a little stride, Brother Martin is. I think they're getting a few guys back that have been injured the past couple of weeks. It's going to be interesting as we wind down week 8 tonight, 9 and 10 next couple of weeks.
Holy Cross had 12 on the field, and now pass this way is, wait for a signal. I haven't seen one yet. I believe they're going to call it a catch. And that'll make it a 14-14 football game.
I didn't see a touchdown signal, did you? Cheerleaders are flipping like he caught the ball inbounds.
Yep, that was Sharon Francis back in the corner of the end zone. Again, a lot of bodies down there makes it hard for us to see.
Band struck up the fight song, so it looks like it's touchdown, or 2-point conversion.
So we are all tied at 14 with 5:23 to play here in the first half. And Wade, that gives us a chance to remind you that high school football in Crescent City Sports is brought to you by Rhino Shield Mid-South. Tired of painting year after year? Go Rhino. Rhino Shield resists chipping, cracking, flaking, or peeling, and is backed by a 25-year warranty. Get your free estimate. Visit rhinoshieldmidsouth.com or call 833-233-7181. That's 833-233-7181. Our thanks to Kevin Mamahan and everyone at Rhino Shield Mid-South for their support of high school football here on Crescent City Sports. Kickoff's going to be short. This is going to be Martin at about the 16-yard line. Popped a big one last time. Not as much running room this time as he'll get tackled short of the 30-yard line.
Tigers will have it back. First down.
Well, we saw the electrified Carr offense that series, right? They found that they can out-leverage the Holy Cross defense real quickly with their slot receivers if Holy Cross is going to continue to stay in a too-high zone coverage. So we'll look for that next time again if Holy Cross comes out in a too-high defensive coverage next series.
Holy Cross at 11 personnel, 1 back, 1 tight end. Canatella, nowhere to go. Probably could have thrown it out in the flat to Martin, but before he realized that option was there, waiting for him in the backfield was Ivan Lewis.
Well, they've got a lot of guys that can play, and that's one of them, Ivan Lewis. He's a junior, 6 foot, 235-pound defensive lineman. Got home, right? They did not max protect that time. Karr brought 6. Holy Cross blocked with 5. Usually 6 is going to win.
That happens. It's a good math problem.
Yeah, I was awake for that.
6 is more than 5. Passing a flat caught. Finn Martin on the catch. And got some of that yardage back, but it's still going to be 3rd and long for the Tigers.
See, they've got to stay out of, speaking about Holy Cross, they've got to stay out of the negative plays, right? You can't get into negative plays against the Cougars because these guys will eat you up when you are behind the sticks. It's almost like throwing raw meat into the Cougar den, right? They start growling and getting after it.
Line to make us the 38. Canatella took a shot, pass is intercepted. The linebacker Arsenio Bolds, the junior, dropped into coverage and made a nice play And the first turnover of the night goes the way of the Cougars. Wait, another look.
Yeah, Arsenio Bolds, very well coached, right? At his inside linebacker position, the minute he read pass, you turn, you drop, you look for the hip of the number 1 receiver and get underneath it. What does he do? Drops, finds number 1, gets underneath it. Bad throw by Cole. Cole Canatella didn't even see Bolds coming inside out, and there's your pick.
And he took a hit there right as he released as well. Probably didn't help things.
Yeah, well, Karr had a nice twist up front with their defensive line. Holy Cross picked it up nicely, but put pressure on Canatella, didn't allow him to get the ball away.
They had 3 receivers to the bottom of the screen, motion 1 out, went that way anyway, and the pass is caught by Teron Francis. The junior LSU commitment gets 10 and a first down.
Yeah, Carr's going to step on the gas now with 4 minutes left to go in the second quarter.
And running to the left side. Nicely done there to get out to the 15-yard line. And first carry of the night for Cantez Lewis, the senior running back. Gets it out to the 16-yard line. And that's going to be ruled incomplete. We haven't said that much tonight.
Yeah. Well,
Johnson had completed 12 in a row before that. He missed on the first one.
Right.
The night when Francis didn't hang on.
I thought maybe that was going to be the old skip pass, right, where you skip pass it backwards and double pass it forward.
Yeah. Draw play on 2nd and 10. Rubner run up the middle into the end zone. Touchdown, Dejon Smith.
They can score fast. And Dejon Smith, watch him make the linebacker here for Karr,
for Holy Cross,
just stand still. That linebacker was Blake Briley. Boy, I tell you what, he just put a move on him and almost broke his ankles.
Carr's having to shift around its front here. They don't know what to do here with this. The Holy Cross field goal block unit moving guys around. They didn't get it off in time. They have to try this again, back it up 5 yards.
Delay of game on the Cougars.
Well, you just can't have that happen. You've got to have that squared away, because that little bit of yardage for your kicker could mean the difference between a make or a miss, right? As well as the timing and the whole mechanism.
That's handled much better, and the point after try is good. So your new score with 3:23 to play here in the first half. Edna Karr 21 and Holy Cross 14. This is a big turnaround for the Cougars. Remember, they scored on the opening drive, then went 3 and out, and now they've come back with a 6-play, 65-yard touchdown drive, and then after the takeaway, 4 plays, 37 yards. That last drive only took 57 seconds.
Like I said, they stepped on the gas, right, and that car just took off, and you know, they are just electrifying when they want to be. They found a couple of answers out in the past couple of series on offense, and they made the right adjustments on the boundary, and they came out and they exploited it in that last series.
Well, this is a big possession for Holy Cross. Okay, remember, they won the toss and deferred. So if you could find a way to drive the field and score here just before halftime, perhaps tie this game out, and you get the ball to start the third quarter.
Right, you got to come away with points somehow, so you can get the double points thing, right?
This kickoff will one hop and go over the head of Martin and into the end zone for a touchback. So Holy Cross is going to begin here at the 20.
the old momentum. You get points just before half. You get points coming out of half. It's huge. A lot of coaches believe that is the momentum getter for a football game. What you do going in and what you do coming out are the most important parts of the game itself.
Well, at halftime, we'll take a listen in on bands, and it's homecoming for Carr, so we'll see some of the pageantry of homecoming and the court and everything that goes with it. On first down, give it away. And this is Kieran Smith, the sophomore.
Kieran Smith.
Give him about 2.5 on first down. Catch you up on some of the scores. We'll talk a little bit about power rankings.
A lot went on this past week with the LHSAA.
Yep, we'll talk a little bit about reclassification numbers coming out. Canatella's pass caught and dropped. It was in the hands of his receiver, Cross Johnson, turned upfield and forgot he needed to bring the football in. It's 3rd and 8.
Yeah, that's something young receivers do, right? They want to get going before they even have the ball, and hey, you got to look the ball all the way in. First of all, catch the ball, right?
This is an enormous play right here, Wade. You don't want to go 3 and out, give the ball right back to the Cougars after what's transpired here over the last 3 minutes.
All right, another big 3rd down. 3rd and 8. Let's make some noise.
Got to get to the 30. Canatella steps up. Looking. Throws across his body, intercepted. 25, 20, 15, 10. Brought out down inside the 5-yard line. That was the strong safety, Aiden Hall, who is just a sophomore, Wade, and he could be the next great one to come out of Edna Karr.
First thing you teach quarterbacks, if you're rolling to your left or your right, do not throw back across your body. Ask Brett Favre. Okay? You can't get enough on the ball. You can't be accurate with your throw. And too many guys with the speed of what Carr has on defense, in this case Aiden Hall, what do? They break on the ball. It ends up with a pick, and you're inside the 5. And
ball at the 4-yard line has got a chance to be a 2-score game right here.
Right, and Carr has the opportunity to break this thing wide open going in just before half.
Cougars have scored on their last 2 possessions, trying to make it 3 in a row here. High snap. Johnson is swarmed under, and it got away somehow, and he's got a chance to get in. He is in for the touchdown. That had a chance to be a huge play for Holy Cross to sack Johnson behind the line. They couldn't get him to the ground. He stayed on his feet, had the awareness to keep running, and gets in for the touchdown, a 4-yard run.
Yeah, starts with the bad snap. Miss tackle 1, miss tackle 2.
And once he gets outside there,
it's all over.
Yep.
Yeah, you had your opportunity in the backfield, and it just he couldn't get it right, and that shows the strength of
John Johnson
right there, getting away, and from Max Landry, who had him wrapped up in the backfield. And
extra point by Hunter.
Point after hit the upright, and it's no good.
Holy Cross needs to come to the boundary right now, and they need to take a breath, and that's what Scott Watney needs to do with his team, is just get them back under control, because, look, 227 is still a world for Carr, right? Oh. You can't go 3 and out with 3 times. They've got 3 timeouts left, talking about the Carr Cougars. Hey, you got to move the sticks a little bit, and you got to get your kids back in the right frame of mind.
So Carr has put up 20 points in the last 3 minutes. They scored the touchdown to make it 14-14 with 5:21 to play. Now there's 2:27 to play, and it's 27-14. So 20 points in 2 minutes and 54 seconds.
Yeah, a couple mistakes here, mistake there. It's like shock and awe. They're going to put points on the board real fast, and these guys know how to do it.
Number 2, Toby Young.
So another kick headed into the end zone, and Holy Cross will once again take over at its 20. 2:27 to play. And look, you still got time, obviously, to go down and try to do something. Like you said, it's a double-edged sword. You got plenty of time to do something, but the one thing you don't want to do is go 3 and out again, and that leaves Karr plenty of time.
Yeah, you got to move the sticks. You got to get a couple first downs. You got to get some field position, right? So, in this situation where even if you do bog down, you can flip the field. You just can't give the ball up, in your territory.
Canatella lets one fly incomplete in the direction of Kobe Young. So his last 4 passes, 2 incomplete, 2 intercepted.
Well, he's getting jostled around back there. Those big guys in gold jerseys and gold helmets now are getting to him, right? And so he's feeling the pressure, feeling the heat. He's feeling the steps. That's going to make that ball sail a little bit. Look, if I had big Richard Anderson coming down at me, I'd get a little nervous too.
1 second and 10. This time they'll run it, trying to get to the edge. And out of bounds after a gain of about 5 is Caden Ando, who's really shown me something here in the second quarter.
Yeah, Ando's a nice-looking running back, right? 5'10", 178. He's got a nice burst of speed. As I said, he knows how to put the foot in the ground and get a vertical cut. Hey, he's only a junior. Kieran Smith's a sophomore. He's a nice-looking running back.
It's a gain of 4 on the play. It'll be 3rd down and 6. Got to get to the 30.
All right, do it again. Let me hear you make some noise.
Play action. But for a minute, it could be a lateral on a double pass. Instead, it'll be short of the first down, and then we got a flag behind the play, and this may be either a hold or an illegal block on Finn Martin coming up.
That's usually what the indication I would
get another look here, Wade.
I think we're going to get a hold right there on Finn Martin.
That handful of jersey, that'll do it.
Yep.
And I would imagine they'll turn it down because it's going to be short of the first down. Officials talking to Bryce Brown about his options here. You either take it and it's 3rd and 17 or 3rd and 16, or you decline it and it's 4th and about 3, I guess. Wait and see where they actually spot the football. It's like it's laying down at the 28-yard line. So let's see what the decision is here. There's your signal. Penalty is declined, and it's 4th down.
So a penalty against the Tigers. The Cougars will decline it. It'll be 4th down.
So 4th and 2 at the 28, and Holy Cross will send on the punting unit. Joseph Carapina, the freshman, handles the punting. And that is Tyrone Wilson calling for a fair catch, and Carr's going to have pretty good field position here at the 44-yard line. There's an injured Tiger as a flag comes in late.
That's a late flag. Usually when you have something that late, it's going to be some sort of unsportsmanlike personal foul, something that was said, or definitely dead ball.
Wait for the signal. It is a personal foul against Karr. So they will take over back near the 30-yard line.
That is
the injured Tiger. That is Nicholas Woodfork, junior defensive lineman.
And let's give him a hand of applause. Woodfork. Let's hope he's okay.
Well, all we know is a personal foul. We don't know what.
No, yeah, we don't hear a number. Or
now it's a block in the back.
So let's see. Are they both going to get enforced here?
One was dead ball. One was live ball. You should enforce both.
Well,
or
let's see. Officials standing at the 36-yard line. Are we going to get 2 penalties enforced? I'm waiting to see. Changing out footballs. No, the ball's at the 36-yard line. So it's just a block in the back.
Okay. So no personal foul, just block in the back. Mighty late flag for that.
So ball at the 36-yard line. Karr has 3 receivers bottom of the screen. And whistles before this one can get started. False start against Karr.
False start on the Cougars. 5-yard penalty will replay first down.
Yeah, this is one of those things. Yeah, your offense has been sensational here these last 3 series, Wade. But obviously, deep in this end, any kind of mistake, you suddenly let Holy Cross in the game. How do you manage that situation? As Johnson will let one fly, pass is caught. Going to be about a gain of 4. That was caught by Oliver Mitchell.
You run your base offense, what your kids know, what they can execute, and you make sure that you're doing things simple. Snap counts, communications, things of that nature.
Mitchell's got 5 catches tonight. Pass down the middle. Could have been intercepted. It was right through the hands of linebacker Tommy Ashby, and he knows it.
Well, Holy Cross has made an adjustment. They've gone back to a 1 safety high right now. They've inverted their safeties down. So what that does is that puts a little pressure on those slot receivers from Karr, right? They can't get leverage now. So now you're going to get somebody down at the line of scrimmage real quickly on those quick screens and quick outs that Karr likes to throw.
You get another look there. This time they'll run it. That's favor right. Let's see. Does Scott Watney use a timeout? He does. And look, you've got an advantage in special teams. You've already blocked an extra point tonight. I think maybe you try to come after this punt right here.
Right, you come after the punt and see if you can't get something to happen. 47 seconds, go after the punt. Run your best scheme. You got your best block in this week. You've done your study all week long. And the best way to attack their punt protection, you know exactly what their mechanism is, their timing is on their mechanism and their mechanics. You bring your punt block.
Karr this year has pitched a pair of shutouts. In fact, they gave up 16 points to St. Aug, and really the offense or the defense only gave up 14 because there was a safety in that game. So the most the defense is allowed is 14. They gave up 14 to Easton. The defense gave up 14 to St. Aug. 7 points by Jesuit and Brother Martin in the last 2 weeks. 44 points total allowed this year. And they've given up 14 here in the first half.
Look.
But yet they've held Holy Cross to about 90 yards of offense, too.
Look, I said it. They're real good, right? They can cover some ground.
So the punt is away. Kobe Young from about the 25-yard line. Far side 30, 35, 40, 45 midfield out past the 50 to about the Karr 49-yard line. That's the other thing, of course, you could do. We talked about that. But you got a dangerous guy in number 2 in white back there who could take it the distance.
Yeah, what do I know, right? They set up a great return. Great block right there. Great block right there. Ooh, that was close. Almost a block back against the flow of the play. And then the ball gets in the hands of one of your best athletes, and now you're set up right at midfield. You got a shot here to take a couple of shots at the end zone.
Get a little closer. You got time to get a little closer.
Maybe take a kick at it.
You've got 1 timeout remaining. Already took one on a 2-point try and then took one a moment ago. Canatella steps up. Now he's going to run. Trying to get to the edge, see if he can get out of bounds, and he will at about the 41-yard line. Gain of 8.
Well, you think Canatella's been in the wars before. You know, he's been playing in the Catholic League now going on 4 years. He knew exactly what to do. Everything was ran off. Great coverage by the Karr Cougars. Had everything zoned out across the top, nice and deep. Nothing there. What does he do? Takes off, get as much as he can, but where does he go after he knows it's all over? He gets out of bounds. Again, smart play.
So at the 42, 27 seconds left. Canatella back. Threw it to the ground, and the pass is going to be caught, and the play's going to end right there. It was caught, and Scott Watney right there to use his last timeout.
Number 21,
and probably no gain on the play. Let's wait for the official spot. It was right there at the line of scrimmage.
Karr runs a great tackle in twist, right? Little stunt up front. Holy Cross does a nice job picking it up, but everything gets pushed back into the lap of Canatella. He couldn't see, so he steps up in the pocket and just gets it out of there, but he puts it onto the ground, and it's going to have to force Holy Cross to take a timeout.
They're out now, so now that probably changes your strategy a little bit with 21 seconds left. Now, you do have time if you complete something in the field to play for a first down to go up and clock it and still give yourself time because you are out of timeouts, and then you start taking your shots at the end zone. Ideally, you want to go a little bit further. And maybe, and of course, you got to think, field goal as well with Noel Moore, who's shown us a pretty good leg tonight, Wade.
Well,
saw him drilling kicks from 40 yards in warm-ups, and we've seen kickoffs go into the end zone.
Right. I saw him warming up during pregame, and he was kicking the ball, I would say, safely at about 42 yards, something around that area, 42, 43. He made a couple nice kicks in warm-up.
Pass this way, caught, Martin, first down. And wait for the official spot here, but it's going to be to the 39, it looks like, and that'll move the chains. And that only took, it took 7 seconds off the clock. That was an unfriendly clock right there, Wade. That play didn't look like it was 7 seconds, did it?
No, it did not. Unfriendly clock. I like that's a nice description. It's not Tiger Stadium, right?
No.
First down and 10.
So 2 to the top, 1 to the bottom is Young. Canatella will let one fly far side, caught by Martin, and it's going to be a first down.
They're going to take a shot, which is what they were trying to do. Hey, nice throw by Canatella all the way across to the opposite sideline away from the far hash, right? Nice arm.
And they're going to bring the field goal unit on here.
Yeah, they're going to take their shot.
Yep, 42 yards, just like you talked about. Let's see. It's on the left hash. Mora.
35-yard field goal attempt.
Ball at the 25, 42 yards on the try. This is going to be well left. No good on the final play of the first half. But you did enough to give yourself a chance there to get points before the half, just could not come up with it. So your halftime score from Algiers, Edna Karr, 27, Holy Cross, 14. Wade, quick thoughts on what we saw here in the first half tonight.
Hey, exciting, right? I mean, two really good, I think two really good offenses, that are attacking each other differently. Hey, when the Karr Cougars won, like I said, they want to put the pedal to the metal. Boy, I tell you what, they can do it real quick, and they can make a lot of ground. Holy Cross holding on to the football, trying to dink, dunk, get a splash play every now and then, try to establish their running game against a really good Karr defense. So it's been exciting. It's going to be interesting to see what adjustments they're going to make here at halftime to be able to come out and execute them at the beginning of the third quarter.
I'd like to take a moment to welcome you to Edna Karr's homecoming game.
We know Holy Cross will start with the ball at the beginning of the third quarter.
Tonight we highlight not only our Royal homecoming court,
So we'll look at some scores here in just a moment. Again, we'll let you peek in on some of the activities around homecoming here at Edna Karr.
To present to you our Royal Homecoming Court 2023.
We'll see Carr's band performing first with all the homecoming activities. As the teams go around the end zone. Not sure where Holy Cross ended up. Oh, they're going, they're on the opposite side. And get a chance to meet with their coaches as we get set for a second half. But before we listen to bands, let's take a look at some of the scores from around the area. And of course, no better place to get all your high school scores than at CrescentCitySports.com. Start with last night, Wade, and a big win for Chalmette over John Ehret to, in all likelihood, clinch that district championship, 21-12. That was a big one. St. Charles Catholic keeps rolling on. They beat MLK Charter as well. Riverside defeated Landry last night, 27-12, and it was Salmon over Franklinton, 34-20. Here tonight, some scores early on. Second quarter, Northlake Christian leads St. Thomas Aquinas 8-7. Homa Christian leads Jefferson Rise Charter 21-0. That's in the second quarter. Also second quarter, Pope John Paul leads Independence 28-14. Pope John Paul's having themselves a nice year.
Yeah, it is. It's great. It's great to see Pope John Paul putting some W's up, right?
Yep. Second quarter in Old Metairie tonight. Newman and Country Day. We've done that one several times. Newman leads it 21-0. Final score from earlier today, Livingston Collegiate over Sophie B. Wright, 24-14. Second quarter, St. James all over Donaldsonville, 28-0. We can tell you a little bit about what's coming down the line, by the way, before we get, of course, we're seeing Holy Cross tonight. You and Ken Berthelot will be at Tad Gormley next Friday night for the 102nd consecutive year of Jesuit and Holy Cross. You haven't been there for 102. Maybe Kenny B has. I don't know. If he's listening tonight, we love you, Kenny B. It's all right. You know, he's been to more than you and I. I know that. So,
yes,
but
he has.
Our team that's one of our favorite accomplishments. We have brought you Jesuit and Holy Cross. This will be the 12th consecutive year. A couple of them with Wade on the sidelines, a lot of them with Wade in the booth.
Yes, and
we still give you grief about that halftime interview the first year, right after Holy Cross's Hail Mary. It was probably not a good decision on our part.
Not the most opportune time that you decided to come stick a camera and a microphone in my face, but we went on to win that football game.
There you go. All right, elsewhere tonight, halftime, Lakeshore over Pearl River, 20-6. Second quarter, LaRange leads Hannon 17-7. Second quarter, Archbishop Shaw keeps rolling on. They lead Patterson 28-7. Second quarter, Lutcher over Assumption 10-0. Second quarter, Bell Chase over Higgins 14-0. Just down the road in Plaquemines Parish. We were there earlier this year. Halftime, the Willow School leading Ben Franklin 10-0. At halftime, on the North Shore, St. Paul's over Mandeville 14-10. Second quarter, Ponchatoula leading at Fontainebleau 7-0. Down in the Bayou, second quarter, Hanville over H.L. Bourgeois 21-0. Also second quarter, North Shore over Hammond 14-0. At halftime at Tad Gormley, Jesuit leading Booker T. Washington 23-8. We'll have to get an update on that Slidell Covington game. I believe that's 14-14 at halftime in that game. Halftime, Destrehan leads Sulphur 17-0. First quarter, West Jeff over East Jeff by the score of 7-0. We'll get you caught up on some others in just a minute here. Halftime at Joe Yenny. We talked about that one earlier. Brother Martin leading Rummel by the score of 14-0. And again, those, that's two teams with one loss here. If this holds up, this score holds up, the loser of that game will be the only other team with one loss. You'd have Karr undefeated, and the winner of the Brother Martin Rummel game would have one loss as well. So that's got significant ramifications. And of course, if it's Rummel, next Friday night at Southeastern, it's Karr and Rummel. So, but of course, they got some work to do to come back in that one.
Yeah, Brother Martin, like I said, is seems to be getting well at the right time, and Archbishop Rummel has had just a myriad of injuries all year. And I think they lost another running back last week, did they not?
Yeah.
Nick Monica, he's fighting tooth and nail just to keep a team on the field.
I said 14-0. It's 14-9 now at halftime.
Right.
Yeah, it was 14-0 early on, but now 14-9. Also tonight, I believe this game is being played out in Kenner at Musburn Alino. Estruma leading Bonneville 16-7. Yeah, while we can, wait, I'll get if Chip Merritt can bring up the power rankings in Division I Select, and look at, let's first of all understand this. This is not a poll, okay? Power rankings are very simple. You get 10 points for a win, okay? And you get basically up to 10 points for your opponent's wins. It used to be just 1 point for every game they won. Now, because of varying schedules, and they passed this rule that it's based on the winning percentage. So if your winning percentage is 700 at the end of the year, it is 7 points. You get in a situation where Karr is one of your opponents and they're only playing 9 games, you don't get penalized there. You're going to get, if Karr would run the table and go 9-0, you would get 10 points for playing Karr. So that's the reasoning behind all of that. But you see Holy Cross saying they're second. They've played a really difficult schedule on the way. Carr's schedule, obviously, they would get help with a win tonight significantly. And then they finish with Rummel and with John Curtis, two teams who both have good records at this point. You see Rummel sitting there at 14th at 4-3. Curtis at 4-2 right now, sitting in the 10th spot. That Curtis game is here in 2 weeks. Again, the Rummel game next Friday night is at Southeastern. So they'll get a chance playing some other people to improve that. Now, Brother Martin, you talk about strength of schedule. Brother Martin's 2 losses are to Karr, undefeated, so you're maxed out in terms of the points you can get for that game. And to St. Thomas More, another undefeated team. Right. So that's, right. And you look at the bottom there, this is the thing to know. All right. Well, we were talking about Bonneville a moment ago. Bonneville's sitting there at the 16th spot. If the season ended today, Bonneville would have a first-round home game, okay? But important to note at the bottom now, since they changed things last year, 24 teams in Division I Select make the playoffs. The top 8 get first-round byes and would have a home second-round game. You see Holy Cross and Karr both sitting in the top 8 right now, along with Brother Martin. Now, this is interesting to me. The season ended today, and we know some things are going to move around. Holy Cross, Brother Martin, Karr, Curtis, and Rummel would all be on the same half of the bracket. Here come the conspiracy theories about that, okay?
Yeah, I mean, but, that's just the way it works out. And even before all of this stuff went down with with your non-select select division that happened 10 years ago, right? You ended up with people on the same side of your bracket from your district. And look, many a times we went into the playoffs, and I can count on my hand about 4 or 5 times we played either in the first round the team that we had in week 10 or week 9 or week 8, right? So it just happens that way. There's no conspiracy theory. But what is good is seeing the bracket filled out with 24 teams, no open dates.
Yeah, you've got
no buys.
Yeah. Well, you have some. I mean, at least you're not like you don't have double buys.
You don't have buys straight into the quarterfinals.
Right, exactly.
So, but it's good to see that, and you're looking at it right there, and you're seeing some teams on there that are real interesting, right?
Well, right now, okay, again, there's more football to be played, and the season isn't ending today, but Karr would be looking at a potential second-round game against Acadiana right there. That's intriguing, okay?
Right.
Brother Martin and Rummel playing tonight would potentially play in the second round as you look at it there. There's a lot of, Curtis at 10 would have a first-round home game and then would be on the road in the second round.
Right.
Now, depending on how it played out, they could end up with a quarterfinal home game. So,
right, yeah, and yeah. So, I mean, it's a lot of the intriguing factors, but what's great about it is there's 2 more weeks after this, and then there's games playing tonight, right? So 3 weeks, basically, 3 games left in the season, and it's exciting on how this is going to play out.
Right. No doubt. A lot of football to be played again. Next Friday night, we will be at Tad Gormley for Jesuit and Holy Cross
right.
for the 102nd consecutive year they face off. That first meeting all the way back in 1922. As you get a look at the Karr band performing and the homecoming court being introduced, see a lot of football players as escorts. So it's, John Johnson's.
Right.
John Johnson, the quarterback, escorting a player. I see Ian Gray has escorted a player, a freshman linebacker, and now we look out there, and that's Brennan Harris, who's a senior DB.
Well, that's nice that Coach allows them to go out there and walk the girl at halftime.
This is a big deal here.
I don't know if I could have done that. I'm going to be honest with you.
Well, everybody's got their different traditions. I know, for instance, it was Brother Martin's homecoming last week, and the football players don't get a chance to participate in the game and some of the other things, but at the homecoming dance the next night, that's when they get involved. Right. I know at Rummel, for instance, the Friday night event they have, the football players escort the homecoming court, and they are up on stage with the court as they are introduced. So everybody's got their own traditions. The great thing about homecoming, and it's a big deal in the community, whatever it is, and of course here in Algiers, you see the turnout tonight. It is packed to the gills here on the home side this evening, and they are standing all the way around on the track area here. So it's there's a lot of them out there.
Right, and and look, homecoming is great. Homecoming's fun and everything, and it's full of tradition. But I used to always say this to everybody: homecoming is for the alumni. Homecoming is for the parents of the girls. Homecoming's for the band. Homecoming is for you the next night at the dance.
Right. Now, that's homecoming. And then we're talking about Holy Cross Jesuit. That is another game that is all about the alumni, the tradition and stuff. The teams have to go out there and focus next week on getting ready for a game that they're going to play between the lines.
Right.
And so you have to eliminate some of those distractions of all the things that will go on in the next week. That's something else that's gotta happen there. If Scott Watney, who will coach in this game as a head coach for the first time next week, came up to you after the game and says, "What do I need to know about Holy Cross Jesuit?" What would you say to him?
It's an event.
Exactly.
It's an event.
Yep.
It's an event. It's little about what you're doing in between the lines, which is the most important thing to you, and 100 players for you, 100 players for Jesuit. It's a lot about what's going on in the stands and all around the world, people viewing in and watching this historic game that you play and has been going on for 102 years, right? What you do is you coach it and you get your kids ready just like it's any other football game. You just make sure you have your I's dotted and your T's crossed. Let everything else that goes on with the event go on, and you take care of your business.
No doubt. And again, next Friday night right here at Crescent City Sports. No other place to watch it, and it's live and free always. Holy Cross and Jesuit for the 102nd consecutive year. We hope you will join us then. And by the way, we'll have more news coming up for this, but I can tell you we have got a Week 10 dandy coming your way, and it will be one of the best games, not just in the area but in the state, coming up Week 10. But more to come down the line on that, and we'll see exactly how things play out as we head into the final couple of weeks of the regular season, see how it impacts playoffs, and of course, no better place for playoff coverage than right here at Crescent City Sports as well. We will be somewhere as often as we can be somewhere. We get some Thursday and Saturday night games, who knows, we may see you there. Of course, on Friday nights where most of the games will be played, we will certainly see you there. Karr band leaving the field now. Wait, let's take a look, if we will, at the halftime statistics and the numbers here in the first half as to exactly how this played out. And it was again, it was interesting in terms of numbers out there. You see the big number there at the bottom, Wade. Again, that's total yards there at the bottom, but 230 to 116. But the bottom line there, turnovers, those two takeaways for Holy Cross, or two takeaways for Karr, I should say. That's the big difference in this game right now. That led directly to 14 points when those 2 takeaways happened.
Right.
It was 14-14, bang, bang. They quickly got 13 more points on the board, and that's the difference in this football game.
Yeah, those 14 points come off of turnovers. Turnovers will kill you, and when you're going to lose a turnover game, you're not going to have you're not going to have much of a chance, right? And so Holy Cross is going to have to stop that. I'm sure they're going to make some adjustments here at halftime in order to make sure that they don't turn the ball over anymore. The other thing that you're looking at is those total yards right there, right? I mean, Holy Cross is trying to pick and peck and do the things that they've got to do. Edna Karr has made some big, huge splash plays, and they've resulted in points.
Yeah, and the other thing, too, at Holy Cross, remember, they made some plays in the kicking game. They had the big kickoff return by Finn Martin. It gave them a short field for their first score, so that eliminated some of that opportunity. Carr, opening possession of the game, actually gained 100 yards on an 80-yard drive because they got knocked back with 20 yards in penalties. So it's, you know, stats can sometimes be a little bit deceiving, but the score is basically 2-1 at this point in favor of Carr. The yards are basically 2-1 in favor of Carr at this point, and they're a +2 in the turnover margin. So they've got the edge across the board. Take us inside both team meetings here. Well, Scott Watney with Holy Cross, Bryce Brown with Carr. What did they say to their teams here at halftime?
Well, Scott Watney wants his kids to forget the last 2 minutes of our 3 minutes of the second quarter, right? That's over. That's done with. You got to have a short memory. We get the ball back to start the second half. Let's go back to our game plan. Let's start doing the things that we know that we can have success with, and let's come away with some points, right? What do we have to do defensively for Holy Cross? We can't give up the big play. Let's don't give up the big play. Let's go back to short tackling. They missed some tackles, right? We've got to tackle better. So let's go back to short tackling. Don't give up the huge play, and let's just keep battling and playing with the emotion that we had within, the first, I guess you'd say, quarter and a half. So what do you do if you're Bryce Brown? You talk to your kids about, number one, let's keep the gas on. Let's make sure we go out and 3 and out them right here on this particular drive. Let's make a statement with our defense. Let's score some points the minute we get our hands on the ball, and we can put this thing away real quick.
Exactly. That's if you're Carr, again, you've been in tight games in the second half every week in the Catholic League.
Let's put this thing away.
Yeah.
Let's go out and put this thing to sleep. We can have a chance to do this within the first 2 or 3 minutes of the third quarter, but in order to do that, we're going to have to play great football. We're going to have to play fast. We're going to have to get to where we need to be with no mistakes and put the pedal to the metal. We do that, we'll come away with points, and we can put this thing to sleep real early.
But again, Holy Cross will get the football to start the second half. So they're underway, by the way, in the third quarter over at Joe Yenny. Brother Martin leading by the score of 14-9. Rummel with the football. Schematically, what are the types of things that you saw teams maybe struggling with? You see some adjustments here.
Holy Cross has got to stay out of a too-high secondary. When they're in a too-high secondary, they're playing with only one strong safety. Carr, obviously, with the great job that they do offensively, is going to check away from the strong safety look, and they're going to go opposite that strong safety and put pressure because they have leverage on the safeties and get the ball to their slot receivers. Their slot receivers are better athletes than the Holy Cross secondary. We'll get the ball out there real fast. So if I'm Holy Cross, I'm going to play everything from here on out with a one-high secondary. That's what they did for the last 2 or 3 minutes of the game, and you saw Kobe Young at that free safety position.
Well, John Johnson in the first half, 13 of 16 for 150 yards and a touchdown. He's also run it 5 times for 20 yards and another score. So really showed you something as a dual threat player. Canatella in the first half was 9 out of 14 for 71 yards, but those 2 big interceptions.
Right.
And he ran the ball. He also got 3 yards on the ground. So the running really came. The biggest threat on the ground turned out to be Caden Ando. not Kieran Smith, although Smith scored the 2 touchdowns on 3 carries. But it was Ando doing a lot of the damage between the 20s there.
Well, Ando, like I said, I'm impressed with him. You know, he's got some skills. He can get north and south real quick. I think we'll see a lot more of him in the second half. Holy Cross wants to run the football, but you can't run the football east and west against Karr.
No,
you got to run it downhill.
They've got size and they've got speed.
Right.
There's no doubt about that. Karr band making its way back into the stands here, right in front of us.
Hey, we got a parade right in front of us.
That's it. It's like you're on.
We've got a parade.
You're on St. Charles Avenue. You didn't know it.
This is awesome.
So the team's finishing their warm-ups in both end zones. We're a couple of minutes away from the start of the second half here. So, just about set here. See the officials back out in the center of the field. Well, we were getting ready for this one. Didn't get a chance to see the end of what happened up at Arlington. The Astros rallying for 3 runs in the top of the 9th to defeat the Rangers 5-4. Take a 3-2 lead back to Houston Sunday night.
Well, it's hard for me to watch baseball during football season. That's the reason why I've got my finger on the remote and it's going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, right?
Right.
And it's my wife's in the other room. So it's well, you know, what a time of the year right now. You got great high school football, you're right in the meat of the college football season. NFL is where it's at right now, and then you've got playoff baseball.
Yeah, 3-run homer by Jose Altuve in the top of the 9th inning. Wow. Guess I'll have to go back and watch that on some kind of delay. So we get set for the start of the third quarter. Holy Cross has made its way back to its bench. Edna Karr coming back over to its bench. Officials taking their positions, and we will get set for football here from Morris Jeff Stadium in Algiers on a homecoming Friday night. And it will be Karr kicking off left to right. Holy Cross to get the football first, and remember in the first half, we saw that big return out of Finn Martin. Now, we've also seen a couple of kicks, at least going the other direction, that reached the end zone. So Martin is to the top of the screen. Kobe Young now at the bottom. They've switched places here. Martin was on the other side, so maybe they're thinking we get a shot here. Maybe we'll sneak one in there and let Kobe Young get a chance.
Back deep once again for the Tigers, number 11, Finn Martin, number 2, Kobe Young. Taking it away, number 85, Jaden Hunter.
All right, Hunter will step into this one. Well, maybe not. Got to reposition it a little bit on the tee. Now we'll get things underway here in the second half, and this is going out of bounds.
And that football will fly out of bounds.
Now let's see. Do you just take the ball at the 35 here when you've got good returners? Do you make them go try to kick it again and see if you can pop one?
Kicking in this direction, I'd make them kick again. Kicking in the other direction, got a little bit of breeze going in that direction, I'd go ahead and take it at the 35. I'd force him to give it to one of my return guys going in this direction. See what I'm saying? So either I'm going to get another ball out of bounds or I'm going to get a shot at a return. I would gamble with the direction with the wind.
I don't disagree, but Scott Watney wants the football here. Well,
I mean, that's you know. Hey, look, I'm not saying I was ever right. I'm not saying I was ever wrong, right?
It's just everybody's got a decision to make.
Correct.
You got, look, obviously
Right.
you take risks when you're doing that again.
And
You got the football at the 35-yard line. It's good field position.
Believe it or not, that's a lot of analytics in that, too.
Well defended that time as the penetration gets into the backfield and brings Smith down for a loss of a yard.
Well, the key there was penetration. You said it, Lenny. You just don't want to get penetration off those guys up front, right? Big guys, Richard Anderson, Frederick Hart, Corey Adams, Lyric Hawkins. These guys, if they penetrate, can do some damage.
Second down and 11.
So a loss of 1, 2nd and 11 at the 20, or the 34 rather. Young in motion. Canatella will step up. Now look to run, and the ability to run quickly ended. He might have gotten a half a yard out of it, and it's going to be 3rd and 10.
Hey, coverage took that away. Everything was covered. Great job by the Carr secondary. Great job by the underneath coverage, the Carr linebackers, especially running with the trips receiver. And Cross Johnson was open on that route because the linebackers vacated, the safeties and corners vacated. That gave a lot of room, and Canatella got the ball away just before he was hit. That's the reason why you see a lot of people go to a lot of man coverage when they bring the house.
So Johnson shaken up. He will walk off on his own power. Johnson tonight 3 catches for 54 yards. Holy Cross with a first down at the 47-yard line.
Carr's gambling when they do that they're going to get home before their ball's going to obviously get out, right? And they were just a step off there.
Canatella gives it away on first down. And a nice job to turn nothing into a 3-yard gain right there as Caden Ando looked like he was going to get brought. He was going to get brought down quickly. But
he's running hard. But look, he picks up 3 or 4. But which way is he going? He's going downhill, right? And that's what he's got to do.
Chavez Morris, the DB, up to make the tackle. Give it away once again on 2nd and 7. That time it was Kieran Smith. And looks like he got about a yard, and it's going to be 3rd down and about 6. Cohen Johnson, the fullback, is a little gimpy getting up. He's going to hobble off.
Look, he's an important part of that run game, right? He's what you call the sniffer back, all right? He's right up in there, offensive line gaps, and he's the guy that's going to block linebackers on ISOs. He's going to get kickouts on the last guy on the line of scrimmage on the counter game or the power game, right? He's a vital part of their running attack.
This is going to be 3rd and a long 5 coming up. Holy Cross just converted on 3rd and 10. Big opening drive of the second half.
Third down and 5.
They'll run it again. This time try to bounce it outside with room to run. Kira and Smith got about 3, and now it's going to be 4th and 2. And I got to think, Wade, that tells you right there what this decision is going to be. If you're running on 3rd and 5, you got to go for it on 4th and 2, right?
I would think so, absolutely. Bad things happen when you miss tackles, and Karr missed a tackle in the backfield right there. Didn't get the number of the defender. That allowed Smith to be able to bounce outside and pick up additional yardage. Here we go. 4th and 2.
Big play in this game on the first drive of the 3rd quarter. 4th and 2. They will run it, and Smith's got room to run. It's still on his feet. 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, brought down at about the 3-yard line. Check it. They'll put it back at the 5. It's a gain of 40 for Kira and Smith.
Outstanding job by the Holy Cross offensive line. Look at the zone blocking, walls everything off. Look at the backside cut on the split zone. He makes the backside cut. It's clear he's into the secondary, and he's got great run at breakaway speed. They're in business now down inside the 5-yard line.
Now they'll put it back at the 4, apparently, on 1st down. Not much doing that time.
Taj Butler. Boy, is he a good football player.
Called his name a bunch already tonight. And that was once again Smith on the carry.
I mean, need I say more? Taj Butler, right? This guy is a good football player. Whoever signs this guy is going to get a great linebacker.
Now he's a Georgia Tech commit.
Oh, that's right, Georgia Tech. Again, Georgia
that
Tech
does
down
but
here.
As we learn, look, commitments,
yeah, we know that.
Commitments aren't binding.
I know. But Georgia Tech working down here in southeast Louisiana.
2nd and goal. And nothing doing that time. Tremendous penetration. That Carr defense.
That looked like number 20, Corey Adams, penetrating from his defensive tackle position.
They've had some success running the ball here on this drive, but
again,
not much doing these last 2 plays.
Again, a little bit outside. They need to stay with that split zone scheme, running downhill where they can get a helmet on a helmet.
3rd and goal at the 11. Canatella, the half roll, right in to a sack. Protection just couldn't hold up that time, and there were about 3 gold shirts waiting there for him at about the 13-yard line.
Well, they tried a little turn protection, right? But at the point of attack, as they're trying to get onto the left edge right there on the rollout, it just got crushed.
Yeah, Lyric Hawkins, 44, will get credited with the sack. But there were quite a few shirts there. This will be a 30-yard field goal try coming up for Noel Mora. Missed a 42-yarder at the end of the first half. This to make it a 10-point game. Kick is on the way, and it is good. So your new score, with 5:46 to play here in the 3rd quarter. That drive took half the 3rd quarter right there. Is 27-17 Carr.
For Holy Cross, how important was that?
You needed points.
You needed points.
A touchdown would have been better, but you absolutely needed points.
You needed points. You had a splash play. You proved to yourself you can run the football when you want to run the football. You just got to make sure that you hold up to the blitzes of Carr. A lot of things were answered right there for Holy Cross. That gives them some confidence. For Carr, what does that do? It says we can stop you inside the 10 if we want to, because when we want to do something, we're going to turn it up a notch. Great job by the Carr defense, just holding them to 3 points.
You give up that big play that gets it inside the 5, and you stuff them on 1st and goal at the 4. Tonight's coverage on Crescent City Sports brought to you by Gibbs Construction, a leader in the construction industry in Louisiana and the Gulf Coast for more than 45 years, transforming dreams, visions, and plans into reality. Gibbs Construction. Well, Holy Cross has done what Jesuit and Brother Martin couldn't do the last 2 weeks, and that's score in the second half. Carr had shut those two teams out by a combined 47-0 after halftime. And the other thing here is this is now a season high in points allowed for Karr, 17 points. Kick is on the way, and it will go into the end zone for a touchback. We'll watch that. Holy Cross did something a little bit different that time, and I think they were just looking to see how Karr would cover it in terms of how they break out of the formation. But
Holy Cross
ended up kicking it deep. Yeah,
Holy Cross has been doing that on their kickoff coverage for 14 years. 15 years.
Some things stay.
Right.
The head coach may change, but some things do stay the same. So from the 20, John Johnson had a terrific first half. Touching the football for the first time here in the third quarter. Rolls right, pass is caught. And that will be a first down as coming back to the football there, it was Teron Francis with his second catch of the night. Well, really third if you count the 2-point conversion, I guess. But
when you have that type of speed out there, you got to give a lot of cushion and a one-high secondary, and that's stealing.
Francis on the slant, room to run, midfield, 40, brought down at the 35-yard line. They're going to move it back to the 36-yard line, and that's going to be a gain of 33 yards. Wade.
That's stealing again, too, back to the weak side. You got 3-by-1. You basically are one-on-one with a corner with a lot of cushion because of speed. The safety's cheated to the 3-receiver side. You're going to run the slant behind it. You hold the linebacker with the play-action pass. That's stealing again.
Whistles before this can get underway, and the left tackle moved too soon. So Karr will have to operate behind the sticks, 1st and 15 at the 41.
You know, somehow I don't think Karr really worries about if they're behind the sticks. I've gotten that feeling, right?
No,
and I don't mean that negatively. I just mean
they've got the ability.
Right.
They've got the ability to get a lot on one play, and they've got the penalty yards back right there on that quick pass to Raji Dennis, gain of about 7.
Nicholas DeGeronimo does a nice job making an open field tackle there on a very, very good athlete from Karr.
Now over 200 yards passing tonight for John Johnson. Play action. Johnson looks. We'll go back this side. Francis makes one man miss. Makes another man miss. Still on his feet. Gets the first down out past the 25-yard line to about the 22.
I'm just going to let the replay do the speaking. Look at this.
Oh, we have a flag down. Let's see what that's about. Oh, looks like something out of a video game right there.
Does that not look like Madden? Right? Wow. I tell you what, is that young man athletic? They're going to
pick up the flag, okay.
As they should. Immediately, Johnson wanted to go to the 1-receiver side at the wide part of the field. Holy Cross did a nice job adjusting with the outside linebacker getting under the slant. What does he do? He turns and comes back to the 3-receiver side, out to Francis.
Francis over 100 yards on the night. 4 catches for 103. And whistles before this we could get underway. We got a false start coming.
Let me tell you what's going on the false start. The center, after he gets his vision for the snap, is dropping his tail and jerking his head up real fast right there. You see how fast he does that? That was in slow motion. He's trying to draw the defense off. That is illegal procedure. I know on that sideline what they're doing is they are in that guy's ear, the line judge screaming at him about illegal procedure.
Is that considered an illegal snap, I guess? Or?
Well, it's illegal procedure. That's the way it'll be penalized. It's intently trying to draw by movement the defense off sides.
Pump fake, pass is caught, touchdown. Tyrone Wilson for the second time tonight. They faked a little pass in the flat. Wilson ran the go route.
Same play they splash played with back in the first quarter. They faked the screen, but the last time they faked the screen to the halfback coming out of the backfield, right? That time they faked it to the slot receiver, and they hit the vertical. Touchdown, very well executed by the Karr Cougars. Lenny, that's a great way to answer, right?
No doubt.
You gave up points at the start of the second half to your opponent. You come back and score your own points. That's called answering the call.
Point after is good. So your new score with 3:03 to play here in the third quarter. After a 5-play 80-yard drive, it is Edna Karr 34 and Holy Cross 17. That took 2 minutes and 43 seconds off the clock. So you saw both teams now, or both units, I should say, each once here. Holy Cross on offense, Karr on defense. Karr on offense, Holy Cross on defense. What kind of adjustments have we seen? And then the coaches are at work probably counter-adjusting out there now that they're back on the sidelines.
2 major adjustments. The first one was by Holy Cross on defense, going to a 1-high secondary, right? Playing Kobe Young at free safety. First adjustment by Holy Cross. First offensive adjustment by Karr that is major is they ran more 3-by-1 set in that series. So what does that do? Back away from the 3-by-1 formation, back to the one side, you have more one-on-one options to be able to throw the ball to your athletes, especially to the wide side of the field.
All right, here's Martin from the 10. Split a couple of defenders and got out near the 35-yard line. So some good field position once again for Holy Cross to start their second possession of the third quarter. And now you're in a situation, this is basically a must score. You're running out of opportunities here with 2:58 to play in the third quarter. It's a 3-score game. You've got to get points on this possession.
And the problem is the Holy Cross offense is going to do what it's going to do, right? They're going to trudge and drag and try to get the ball into their athletes' hands. Johnson, Young, Martin, Smith, those guys, but they're going to take a little longer to do it.
Overloaded the formation one way, tried to run back the other way, and nothing doing that time as Caden Ando is brought down for about a loss of 1.
Yeah, he was brought down by Zalish Miles, a junior, 6'2", 320-pound offensive lineman that I saw playing some defense.
Well, they'll use some of those guys on both sides.
Right. Why not? You got a lot of them standing on the boundary. You need to get them on the field, get some fresh legs out there.
Second and 11. Give it away. No, they faked the handoff, tried to throw it, and incredibly well defended that time. You see the team speed of Karr as they tried that time to get it to Derek Johnson, the tight end in the flat, and waiting there to make a play was Frederick Harte.
Well, that was almost a disaster, right? If you're the wide receiver, you're going to feel that coming. You almost have to be a defensive back. Just knock that ball down. Make sure that it does not get picked off.
So 3rd and 11. Canatella, it's well protected. Taking a shot down the field. Overshot Kobe Young. Young And they were step for step right there. Young on a lot of teams is getting 2 and 3 step separation on that play, and not with these Edna Karr secondary.
But you got to run the 4 verticals. They were trying to get the one-on-one on the boundary for the huge, big splash play there. They needed to look down the center of the field, down the hashes to the 2 verticals that were running against the safeties. You try to hit those 4 verticals with the inside routes at about 12 to 14 yards. If they would have hit that at about 12 to 14 yards, they might have had a nice play. Let's look to see if they're going to come back with that next time they have the football.
On the field is sideline warning. Sideline warning on the Tigers.
All right, we got a sideline warning on Holy Cross, or is this a second sideline warning? Because now we're seeing a penalty marked off. So this may have been a second sideline warning. We didn't see the first one.
I had a few of those.
So make it now 4th and 26.
That's why I always had a get-back coach.
Get back coaches are always important. They like you let them have full reign in terms of what would happen out there. They could pull you back.
Absolutely, they could pull me back. They could yank me back, and they did.
So Carr's going to end up with some pretty good field position out of this. High punt. Back to about the 40. Drop it, pick right back up. And looking to get to the edge. Wilson, midfield, 40, brought down out of bounds inside the 40 at about the 35-yard line. That might have been a touchdown-saving tackle right there by Derek Johnson.
It was. Lenny, you've heard me say this before. 40 years ago, I outpunted my coverage. Right?
I
outpunted my coverage.
I did 20 years ago.
Right.
So.
Well, Holy Cross just outpunted their coverage, right? Look at the blocking right here in the wall. Nice job right there. And there is your saving tackle.
Wait a minute. Is this all coming back? Let's see that one more time if you don't mind, Chip, because I think there may have been a block in the back right at the start of the return here. And this is going back. So this is all getting wiped out. I did not see a flag down, but watch right after the ball is caught right here.
Right there. Yes, that is a block in the back. And
he got 2 of them. He got 2 of them.
Right, and you could see the official reaching for his flag, just couldn't get it out of his belt. Yes, it's going to come back. But when you talk about
that turns out to be about a 40-yard penalty. You talk about hidden yardage and special teams. That's one, that penalty right there. You'd have had the ball, at about the 35-yard line. Instead, you're backed up to your own 26 now.
Yeah, that's huge. That's huge hidden yardage. When you outpunch your coverage, that means that your coverage just can't get to where it needs to be because you boomed it so far. You got to get a little bit more height on that thing so you can get your guys down underneath it.
So at the 26, Johnson's got a running back and 3 receivers to the near side. He's going to throw it in the flat to the back as the receivers all went deep, kind of ran things off there, and a nice play, as it turns out, for Dejon Smith, who's going to get about 9 yards on the play.
Yeah, Dejon Smith gets out here, catches the ball, then he uses a nice stiff arm. Watch the stiff arm coming right here. Here's his Heisman right there. Very nicely done.
2nd and 1. Give it away this time to Smith, who stays on his feet for a moment and then is tripped up at the 42-yard line. Nicholas DiGirolamo, you called his name a couple of times now, wearing 0. It's one of the new things, of course, in football. You can wear 0 now.
Yeah, I think 0, I think of Jim Otto, but he was 00,
yep.
Right? The great Oakland Raider center.
Yeah.
Am I dating myself?
A little. Pass is caught for about a yard. That was Mitchell on the catch. Called his name a whole bunch tonight. That's his 6th catch of the year. Actually, we're going to call it no gain, 2nd and 10.
Tackle on the play by number 22, Karr Johnson.
Show some option this time, and John Johnson's going to keep it for about 7 yards. It's going to be 3rd and 3.
Little lead option that time. They had a blocker out in front with one option. The quarterback could have kept it or pitched it. He decided to keep the ball there. It's going to bring up a 3rd manageable for the Karr Cougars.
Third down and 4.
Johnson, quick pass in the flat, first down.
Reception, breaks a tackle, breaks 2.
Is still on his feet and is finally pushed out of bounds, but turned what should have probably been a 2 or 3 yard gain into a gain of 16.
Well, DiGirolamo misses a tackle, right? And also number 24, Joshua Brown, misses the tackle. Look how strong Francis is. He shakes these guys off like a cold. Man, what an athlete. 6'2", 205 pound with great speed. Only a junior.
5 catches on the night for 119 yards. And that will be the final play of the third quarter after that bad snap, which will be a loss of 6 on the play. We've got 12 minutes left. And Edna Karr trying to put this one away and move on to 7-0 overall and 4-0 in the Catholic League. Your score after 3. Edna Karr 34, Holy Cross 17. You are watching high school football from Crescent City Sports. All right, as we get set to start the fourth quarter, remind you tonight's coverage on Crescent City Sports brought to you by the Lamarck Motor Company in Kenner. Lamarck Quick Lane services all makes and models, batteries, tires, oil changes, and more, all done quickly while Wayne enjoys some popcorn. Must be a reason.
Yeah, good popcorn. Good popcorn.
Thanks to Ronnie Lamarck, Ronnie Jr., Ray Hoffman, and the entire team at Crescent. Lamarck, as guess what? It is once again Teron Francis on the receiving end from John Johnson. 41 yards for the touchdown. And that might about do it, Wade.
Well, it started with the protection. Great job up front. They run a little post rail combination right in the seam. Francis splits the seam. Ball is delivered by Johnson. That was the beautiful part of the play. Nice throw, hit right on time.
Johnson, 22 of 25 for 306 yards and 3 touchdowns. And his favorite target, Francis, has 6 catches for $160.
That could be the dagger.
So to make this 41-17, kick on the way is good. And your new score with 11:54 to play is Edna Karr 41, Holy Cross 17. That drive, Wade, 7 plays. It took a minute and 53 seconds and covered 74 yards.
Well, what's impressive is when they want to just take it up a notch, right?
And here's the thing to keep in mind.
They could take it up a notch at any time they want to take it up a notch.
Right, and here's the thing. Johnson's a sophomore, and Francis is a junior.
Exactly. And they've got more in the pipeline because I'm looking at them right down there on the sideline.
Oh, yeah.
I saw them on the field before the game.
Yeah. There is never a rebuilding situation.
Exactly.
At Edna Karr. It is definitely a reload. And look, they've gone, what, 3 straight years now without a championship? Is that right? Yeah. They lost in the finals in 20, lost in the semis in 21, was here for that game to Westgate, and then lost last year in the quarters to Catholic High. Okay? So none of these kids have won a state championship. You bet they want to come out of here with one. Martin trying to get to the edge. Still on his feet out to about the 35-yard line. Finn Martin has shown me something tonight, Wade, with some moves, not just in the return game, but in the passing game as well.
Yeah, he's a nice little athlete, right? 5'9", 148 pounds. I think he's a little bit heavier than that, right? But he's not a big guy, but what he can do athletically with the football is impressive. He is a junior. That bears well for Holy Cross next year. You know, the big question they're going to have to answer is who is going to take over for Cole Canatella, who has been the mainstay at quarterback for the Tigers for the past, 4 years?
Been out there a while, it seems like.
I've been calling them for a while.
Right. On the ground, it's Smith to get about 2.
If Holy Cross wants to battle back into this thing, they're going to have to score on every possession, and it's going to have to start right here. They're running out of time, so they're going to have to start pressing the envelope a little bit.
Smith's got 50 yards on 10 carries tonight. Now Canatella steps up, fires, pass is caught, got a man wide open down the middle of the field and out past the 25-yard line of Karr. A big gainer for Derek Johnson, the tight end. It's a gain of 40.
Yeah, he's usually a guy that isn't much targeted. He's mostly a blocking guy, but they're running nice routes right there. But I tell you what, great job by the Holy Cross offensive line to buy Canatella time to be able to step up in the pocket and find his target, Johnson.
We call it officially a gain of 38 on the play. Longest play tonight from scrimmage for Holy Cross, I believe. And nothing doing in the running game.
Well, they're picking their spots in the running game, and right there was not one of their spots, right? There were more gold jerseys in the backfield than they had gold jerseys anywhere else, and a lot of penetration right there. Just seemed like the guys in the white jerseys just didn't get a body on anybody in gold. See, Holy Cross cannot operate behind the sticks. That's just not in their MO.
No, 2nd and 11. The 26-yard line. With it being a 24-point game, it's still a 3-score game if you're looking at 3-8 right now. If you get a touchdown, Canatella's hit, and the ball was stripped out, and this is going the other way, Wade. Can he get there? Touchdown. What a play right there by Corey Adams, the defensive tackle. The big 265-pound junior just basically ripped the ball out of Canatella's hand and took off the other way. Another look at it right here.
Yeah, ball gets stripped, right? Here comes Adams right there. He just took it right out of his hand as Canatella's trying to deliver. And then look at the speed of this guy that is 6'4", 285. Hey, he's a junior. Right? He just made a highlight film. And I'm telling you right now, around the country, everybody will be looking at that later tonight. Every college coach in the nation, right? They'll be down here.
Add Corey Adams to your list, right?
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah, look, if you start, even if you don't start for this Edna Karr team, you're going to get looks. The kick is no good, so it's a 47-17 game.
Right. I'm telling you right now, you know, like that scene in The Blind Side where they were all sitting around the video looking at the offensive lineman from the high school in Memphis, Tennessee. Right? Remember, I got to have him. This guy's going to be great and everything. Well, I'll tell you what, right there, everybody's going to be looking at that one sliver of video, and they could see it off of Crescent City Sports.
Well, exactly. Now keep this in mind. He doesn't have stars or a ranking at this point as a junior for whatever reason.
What?
But he's got offers from Miami, Ole Miss, Texas A&M, and Tulane.
Boom. Right?
Okay?
There you go.
That's the thing. if you're a college coach and you're not paying attention to what is happening at Edna Karr and looking at that entire roster, then you're not doing your due diligence.
Well, if you're a college coach, you're coming and you're parking yourself in Algiers.
Now,
some of the best athletes in the city of New Orleans are right here in Algiers.
Now, seeing Miami, Ole Miss, Texas A&M, Tulane, in the past I would have immediately told you, okay, you can pretty much scratch Tulane. That's not the case anymore, okay? Tulane can stack up with all of those guys in recruiting.
No doubt. And right there, that one play, coaches, you can come to Crescent City Sports and get your video.
There you go. Martin stumbles, really never got his footing right, and is brought down at the 19-yard line.
A little extracurricular activity going on out there. They've got a...
Hey, look, you get some frustration. There's no doubt about it.
A little frustration out there by a Holy Cross football player. Some of the Carr coaches getting upset at a couple of things. I didn't exactly see what happened, but there's a little frustration going on in the guys that are in the white jerseys.
So it's 47-17 as Carr has struck twice here in the first 2 minutes plus of the fourth quarter to break this thing open.
And look, let's don't say anything. I mean, Holy Cross is a really good football team.
No doubt,
right?
no doubt about it.
They've just in certain spots here tonight, they've ran into a buzzsaw that just can accelerate at another level.
Well, and the other thing that has happened here tonight too is you can't have a -3 turnover margin against a team like Carr. You can't give them, look, they're good enough. You can't give them any more opportunities.
No, you can't.
And they've turned those 3 turnovers into 3 touchdowns.
Yes.
Gain of 3. Second down and 7.
We'll pass into flat, caught. That was Martin.
And the reception by number 11, Finn Martin.
We got some extracurriculars happening behind the play after it was over.
Again, impressive with Finn Martin. I mean, he's got nice hands and he's got a little shake with him. With Cross Johnson and Kobe Young graduating, they're going to have to find...
And we got a timeout. I don't know if this is timeout Carr.
Right, they're going to have to find a couple more receivers next year. And Finn Martin will be the guy with that receiver crew that's going to have to lend all the experience.
Good one going on at Joe Yeti tonight. Rummel just scored to make it a 1-score game inside of 2 minutes to play. Pending the extra point, it was a 21-16 game.
Good football game.
If that holds up, Brother Martin will have sole possession of second place in the Catholic League, and the Carr will be sitting out there. They were the only undefeated team coming in, and now they're going to have a convincing win here this evening, and they will be 2 wins away from a perfect regular season. And let's see how it all plays out in terms of power rankings. One of the things that hurts them, we touched a little bit on their win over Warren Easton. Yeah. Easton had a forfeit last night over Madison Prep. That pass is caught by Finn Martin. The trickle-down effect of that, that the teams that Easton played now are losing. If they would have won that game last night, that would help somebody's PowerPoint.
Well, you get 1 point also. You get those points of playing up in classification, like you said. You get those points for the percentage now, the way it's figured in, and Warren Easton kind of hurts that issue for a lot of the teams.
And they already look. They had wins over Ruston and Catholic High.
Correct.
Played an ineligible player.
Yes.
And I don't think he got to the sticks. This is on his 4th and 1 play. I think this is going to be short, and Carr's going to take over on downs if that's the case.
Well, good football programs take care of each week, and they don't worry about, who's going to be where in the playoffs. What they do worry about is, are they going to get a chance to play at home? Will they have a chance to get a bye? Right? Those are the things that they're looking at.
And look, if Carr keeps winning, they're going to get a bye. Holy Cross has got 2 games left. They've got, of course, the rivalry game with Jesuit next Friday night, and then they've got the bye in the district week 10, and they're playing a big non-district game against a very good East St. John team who's undefeated. And Johnson trying to run a little option that time on first down. Will get a couple of yards before he's brought down. But and so, a game like this obviously helps them in terms of your schedule strength. Same thing with the East St. John game. But they've got, they came in tonight at second, losing this game. And, you beat Jesuit, lose to East St. John, I would think they stand a pretty good chance of still being in the top 8 and getting a first-round bye.
Yeah, because they're going to get that strength of schedule. Exactly.
Keeping it on the ground, and a nice run that time. First time we've called Terrence Ranson. I've checked. That's 25 for Cantaz Lewis. We did call his name earlier, the senior running back.
I think next week, a big one for East St. John, if I'm not mistaken, it's Destrehan.
Absolutely.
That's a huge one in the River Parishes. I've had a chance to see Destrehan a couple times this year. Really good football team Marcus Scott has. And I know Brandon Brown at East St. John is doing his normal great job every year with his kids, and they've got a really good football team there in Laplace.
So Carr's going to milk some clock here as it's going to tick closer to 6 minutes. Yeah, you look at Carr's offense this year. They put up 33 on Landry, 45 on Scotlandville, 48 on Easton.
You think they can score, huh?
They can score.
And here's the deal, Lenny.
And we got a late flag coming in.
Yeah, a little extracurriculars. Looks like there's some talking or kicking or something going on after the play. But here's the deal. You talking about the points they score? They can score when they want to score.
They can score, yeah. And the other thing, look, is they can defend.
Yes.
Personal foul is going to be on Karr.
They can defend. Correct.
I mean, again, 17 points tonight's the most they've allowed in a game. This offense, do that.
Right. What they've got to clean up, Lenny, they've got to clean up some of the silly mistakes of penalties, illegal procedures, blocks in the back, a holding penalty here or there, right? Those are the things that they've got to clean up.
So this will be 3rd down and 23 now for Karr, the 30-yard line. They'll continue to milk this play clock a little bit, 10 on the play clock. Perhaps they're going to let it run all the way down and use the timeout. Now they'll shift into formation and snap it away. Johnson, pass is caught. Got some new receivers in there, got some new skill around him. And that was Rogers Jackson, the senior, getting a chance to make a play there. Got about 7, and it's going to be 4th down. 8th different receiver to catch a pass tonight for Karr. Johnson throws it out in the flat, not going to get anywhere. And as the pass was thrown out in the flat to Lathan Welch, the senior running back. And a loss on the play.
Yeah, well, athletic, right? You said, what, the 8th receiver tonight to catch a pass?
No, make that 9 now.
9 now, right? So these guys are just really athletically talented. Getting a lot of new jerseys on the field for both teams, right? Holy Cross is sending a lot of different white jerseys out there. Still with Canatella at quarterback.
look to run, now pull up and throws it away.
Cannatella really makes some nice decisions. When he needs to throw the football away, he does that. He steps up nicely through his protection. He keeps his eyes downfield. You can tell he is a senior quarterback that has gone through the wars of the Catholic League. He's been coached real well by the Holy Cross coaching staffs over the past 4 years.
And I'm a big believer, Wade. All the things that you can do to give your team a chance to be successful, experience at quarterback may be at the top of the list.
Oh, no doubt.
Pass caught, it's going to be just shy of the first down, as that was Kobe Young on the catch.
Yeah,
just his second catch tonight. Now, he's played a lot on defense as well, and we've seen him on special teams in the return game.
Yeah, and Cole Cannatelli, as you said, Lenny, gives your team a chance to win. Steady, steady, steady. Leader in the locker room. But like I said, he's been through all of those Catholic League wars for, 4 years, I know, right?
It's 3rd and 1. 3 receivers to the bottom of your screen. Give right near the sticks. I think they'll give the first down to Smith. Yes. Just needed the one.
Well, Scott Watney's going to have to pull his troops back together starting tomorrow morning, right? He'll have to go in, look at this, grade it, do what he needs to do, correct mistakes. Big mistakes are the turnovers. And get his team ready, to face Jesuit. And, there's some emotion there.
Cannatella, and keep it alive with his feet, finally is brought down. Was trying to get a man wide open down the field, but just couldn't get set to throw it. Ando had no one within 20 yards of him down the field, but he just couldn't get in position to throw it.
Right, they were trying a little double move there. They didn't get a chance to get the ball out. Everything collapsed real quick. But like I said, they're going to have to flush this after they get done tomorrow, grading it, correcting mistakes, and then they got to get their minds refocused because, look, Jesuit, even though they're struggling a little bit this year, they're still a good football team and extremely well coached.
A little play action that time, or RPO look, and it's caught by Martin.
Yeah, that's all RPO. They fake the zone sweep one way, and they come back to the slant back to the other off of the outside linebacker for Carr.
Martin's 5th catch tonight, plus what he's done in a return game. He's been outstanding. And there he is again. Give him about 6.
The pass is complete. Once again to number 11, Martin.
He's steady.
No doubt.
Runs nice routes, has nice hands. I can't rave enough about him.
It'll be 2nd down.
I bet he wishes he just had another inch or so.
Oh.
Right. Half inch or so.
5'9", 148. He'll find a home. There's no doubt.
Right.
Cannatella tripped up from behind.
That's going to wind up being a loss on the play.
Coaching till the end, right? You know you're out of this thing, and it's probably over. So what are you doing? Both teams here coaching. Carr's out there coaching basically what is their JV, right? Guys that.
Yeah, you got some younger guys. Look, you've probably got some juniors and seniors,
right? That just don't get to play that with the first team. Holy Cross is out there coaching their guys. They want another score, right? It's all about coaching and teaching.
Cannatella, pass caught. Young, just short of the sticks. It's going to be 4th and about 1.
Yeah, well, you're at the point of no return here. You're going to have to obviously go for this.
So at the 39-yard line, it's 4th and 1. And that's a first down. pretty apparent. They get in short yardage situations, goal line situations. Smith is their guy.
Yeah. Well, like we said all night, their little group of running backs is solid, you know.
Yep. The final score from Joe Yenny, Brother Martin a winner over Rummel tonight, 21-16. Rummel actually had goal to go with a chance to win the game. Brother Martin had to come up with a late stop. Canatella throwing deep for Young, and it is broken up. Terrific play out there. And that was Brennan Harris.
Yeah, Brennan Harris gets his hands
He's
in
had
the
a
last minute.
big night for him. He was the homecoming king earlier.
Is that right? I didn't see that.
Yeah.
He was the homecoming king?
Yep.
Well, the homecoming king right here. Watch him get his hands in and rake the ball.
Nicely done.
Yes. Homecoming king. Got the crown and he got the rake. Making memories, man. That's awesome. I was never a homecoming king.
No. Nor was I. I'm not sure there were homecoming kings. So we're down to 37 seconds, as you see. Canatella, pass is caught. Young, 30, stays on his feet down at the 29-yard line. Clock will continue to run.
And on the tackle, once again, number 18, Brennan Harris.
Harris again on the stop.
They're going to probably take one more shot at the end zone right here.
Yep. 13-12. And whistles before this one can get going, and a false start on Carr, or Holy Cross, I should say.
Yeah, the whole side of the right offensive line decided to get started fast. Look, I tell you what, two really good football teams, but Carr can take it just to another level, and they are so impressive. It's going to be interesting to see how they finish out the last 2 weeks of the season and carry themselves into the playoffs. And of course, you want to stay away from injuries. Injuries has a lot to do with things as you get into weeks 11, 12.
Whistles again before this one can get underway.
And then Holy Cross, as we said, is a really good football team. They need to hold their heads up. They got to get ready for Jesuit next week.
Yeah, the game is over. The clock was running, and they did not get a chance to snap it for the final play. So that will do it. Your final score: Edna Karr makes a statement this evening, Wade, with a 47-17 win over Holy Cross, and they did it in all phases tonight. Well, offense and defense, certainly. The defense coming up with 3 takeaways. They turned that into 3 touchdowns. And look, John Johnson, you haven't heard a lot about him at this point. He's just a sophomore, but engineering this offense, like, been a lot of really good quarterbacks come through Edna Karr through the years, and John Johnson showed us tonight that he may be the latest one.
Well, John Johnson brings a lot to the table, right? He has a nice arm. He can run the football. Hey, in a couple years from now, he might not be playing quarterback at the next level because he's such a very good athlete. He could probably play in somebody's secondary, but I can bet he can run routes and catch a football. He is an athlete, but for the Carr Cougars, he fits the bill as a first-rate quarterback.
Wade, thank you for being with us tonight. Our thanks to Chip Merritt. Our thanks to Matt Merritt as well. Again, next Friday night at Tad Gormley for the 102nd consecutive year. It is Jesuit and Holy Cross. Our coverage of Crescent City Sports will begin at 7 p.m. Ken Berthelot will join Wade for the broadcast. So for our entire Crescent City Sports production team and for Wade Kaiser, I'm Lenny Van Gilder saying so long from Algiers. Your final score tonight, Edna Karr remains unbeaten with a 47-17 victory over Holy Cross. Until next week, so long, everybody.